For traffic on the 5s at 3:05, here's Matt Baer.
All right, Harrison, looking at southbound 6570, that's stop-and-go traffic from the Northwood down to Washington Street, and inbound 70 slows up before the split to Rural Street, Keystone Avenue. Southbound 65 a little bit slow. Going into the north, a split from Meridian Penn, and this is a crash. It's Oleo Road at 131st Street in Fishers, one on the south side, Madison Avenue, north of Edgewood. Traffic sponsored by Dell Technologies. Black Friday is Dell's biggest sale of the year. Save on laptops like the XPS 13, engineered to do it all on the Intel Evo platform and more. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
For today, partly cloudy, not as breezy. High temperature of 70 degrees tonight. Partly cloudy, warm overnight lows with low temperatures in the mid-50s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it. Let's get out the vote. Let's make our voices heard. We've been given the right to choose between a douche and a turd. It's democracy in action. Put your freedom to the test. A big fat turd or a stupid douche. Which do you like best?
There you go.
Let's go, baby.
Election Day 2023. Hogsett versus Shreve. Hammer, who you got?
Nobody. We all lose because they are the same person.
Can Shreve pull it out?
He can. Honestly, there's a very good chance Jefferson Shreve could win tonight. And a lot of people have, come up to me. What are you going to do if Shreve wins? Look, nothing, because I don't really think anything's going to change. I think both of these dudes are pretty much the same. You've got one guy who feels that law-abiding gun owners are the biggest problem in Indianapolis. And then you've got another guy who thinks law-abiding gun owners are the biggest problem in Indianapolis. So for me, it's Now, let me make one thing perfectly clear.
Yes.
I am off the next 3 days. I am taking care of some family stuff. My wife is having a surgery. So I'm going to be full Michael Keaton, Mr. Mom, the next 3 days. So if Shreve wins tonight and I'm not here tomorrow, I don't want people thinking Hammer didn't want to face the music. Or hell, even if Boss Hogsett wins, Hammer's not here, blah, blah, blah. Just throwing that out there and making it clear. You vote already, Nigel?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Saturday, got right out there at the Zionsville Town Hall. Now, what I do, apparently you do something different. What I'm able to do when I go vote there at the town hall, I park on the side, so I avoid all the pollsters, all the campaign surrogates, all the people holding signs and handing out flyers. I sneak right around all that crap and go in on the side. And that's how I enter the building there in the town hall, because I don't want to talk to any of those people.
That was not my experience today. Can I tell you what happened to me today?
You already did. You texted me, and I'm still laughing about it. I'm still giggling.
So myself...
and this would only happen to you.
Right.
By the way.
So myself and my oldest, Chris, he's 19, we decided to go vote early because he wanted to vote before he went to his classes at UIndy. It's like, all right, I'll pick you up. We're going to go to the poll place. We're going to vote together.
Cool.
Walking up to the place, I've got my Hammer and Nigel show hat on. And this big, fat bastard working for the Jared Evans campaign looks at me, and I think he sees my hat, and says, "Are you Hammer and Nigel?" To which I say, yes. "Are you voting for Jared Evans or Schmitz?" And at this point, I kind of knew where this is going, right? So I said,
sure.
You know what? Probably Schmitz. And then he looks at me, "Micah Beckwith, you like him?" Like, yeah, Micah Beckwith's been a pretty good guy. I like Micah Beckwith. He's a man of faith, a good family man.
Voting for lieutenant governor, the delegate vote.
And I can't stress this enough. not running for anything in Marion County.
Has nothing to do with the campaign.
No, I don't think he lives in Marion County.
But didn't Jared Evans, that we had his opponent on last week?
Right.
And that was like one of the flyers that they put out against her was that she associates with Micah Beckwith.
She's friends with Micah Beckwith.
Makes no sense whatsoever.
Like, Micah Beckwith has been the focal point of the Jared Evans campaign for city council on the southwest side. So then he tells me, are you friends with Micah Beckwith? Do you like Micah Beckwith? Yeah, sure. He wants to ban books. So at this point, I look at Chris. I'm like, all right, if this clown wants to engage, let's engage. I asked him, which books have been banned? He can't name any. And I said, have the books been banned or have they been moved away from children because of explicit content? I'm willing to bet they've just been moved away from children, and you could still find these books in public libraries anywhere. And he just looked at me with this fat, stupid look on his face, fast food grease stains on his shirt. And I said, all right, this conversation's done. And we started to walk in to go vote. Got about 5-6 steps, heading toward the school where we go in to vote. He turns around, I swear to God, and yells, your show effing sucks. But he didn't say effing. He said the words, Nige.
Like right out there in front of your kid and all the other campaign people that were out there and people that were walking in to vote.
Right.
He shouted that out.
To which I respond, F you.
Of course you did. You have to at this point.
And then he looks at me. I bet your son's really proud. And again, I posted a photo of this big fat loser on our Facebook and Twitter, at Hammer and Nigel. I looked at him, I looked at Chris, and I said, this kid's probably going to be a chief of staff one day. Look at him and look at you. I think he's doing just fine. Walked in to go vote, came back out, killed him with kindness.
Oh, man.
Have a good day, sir. And he stared daggers at me. But if you want to see this big, fat joke of a human that was dropping F-bombs at me and my kid, it's on our Facebook and Twitter, at Hammer and Nigel. Check it out right now, and you'll see the dude that tried to be Johnny Tough Guy. And without knowing anything about this guy, I can already tell you his life story.
So funny.
This cat was probably somebody that played on the Ben Davis football team years ago. But now he spends most of his times in a bar thinking about glory days. He's the walking version of the Bruce Springsteen song that has nothing going well for him, hates his life, his peak was in high school, and he gets his jollies off yelling at people and trying to debate them, but he's not smart enough to pull it off.
Headline, Hammer Boys harassed by Jared Evans surrogate.
And look, I don't know Jared Evans at all. Jared Evans might be a hell of a nice guy. I have no idea. I've never met the dude. But if this is the kind of people that he's got out there, trying to win votes for, man.
So that's what he was doing. He was handing out flyers, asking people who they're going to vote for, this and that, and then it winds up with him telling you that our effing show sucks.
Right. And you're looking at the picture, Nige. How would you describe this individual?
The fast food grease stains. He must have had a Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit for breakfast this morning.
Must have had about 10 of them. So, yeah, that was my voting experience today. If anybody can beat that,
I don't know.
We'll play a round of Beat That. If anybody can beat that, tweet at us, send us a Facebook message. We're on Instagram at Hammer and Nigel.
That's just a crappy thing to do and say, to get into somebody's face and drop the F-bomb outside. You're trying to do your civic duty.
Right.
Who are you voting for? Schmitz? Like, he asked you that? It's your effing business, dude.
Right. But I knew what he was going for, and I knew this clown wasn't smart enough to engage. So I went ahead and took the bait. It's like, yeah, this is who I'm voting for. And then, well, Micah Beckwith wants to ban books. First of all, what the hell does that have to do with Jared Evans running for the city council? What is Jared Evans on the city council or Lisa Schmitz going to do about banned books in other parts of Indiana
that aren't really banned?
And see, that's the thing with these lunatics, Nige. When you come back at them, if you just stand up for yourself and clap back at these people and use fact and logic and you're fearless, they don't know how to handle it. His next response was, well, your show effing sucks.
Yeah, he was let's just be clear, he was the first one to drop the F-bomb. And you returned the favor.
Right. I was trying to take the high road, believe it or not. Had my kid with me, and he dropped the F-bomb, so there we go.
Impressive.
And this kind of brings it full circle back to Jefferson Shreve. I wish Jefferson Shreve had a portion of the fight that I had in me against this clown when he was on the stage against Joe Hogsett.
Yeah, poor debate performances for sure.
You've got all of
Poor
this
debate.
leverage. You know where Joe was at during the riots. You didn't use it against him. And when Joe got his feelings hurt and clapped back during the debate, Shreve took it. So again, I'm getting a lot of messages of people on social media. Held my nose, voted for Shreve today. I get it. I understand that. If that's what you want to do, God bless you.
Yeah, it's none of our business.
Right. I'm not going to be the pollster for Jared Evans here trying to boss people around. For me personally, it was kind of a deal breaker the way that he treated law-abiding citizens. But I'm just one man. Honestly, it shouldn't be this close. If Jefferson Shreve stays true to himself and figures out an alternative way to pick up some votes from the other side, because it was available, he wins this thing in a landslide. Because Rob Kendall said it best. Right now, Joe Hogsett is the Jimmy Carter of mayors. But unfortunately, this thing is a ball game tonight.
A tweet from Becky 17 hours ago. Did you see this? You guys have been terrible to Shreve. The blood of this city is on your hands.
So it's our
Is
fault.
this really? I don't know if she's joking. Becky, I'm sure you got to be joking, right? That's because it looks like she's like retweeted some other articles we've posted. So maybe she's joking, but who knows?
Just got a message from Kay on the Hammer and Nigel Show Facebook. Was listening in the car. Could not wait to see this guy's picture fast enough. You were right. Thank you, Kay. We got some other key races tonight, Nige. We have got city council races. We're going to talk about that with Abdul and Ethan Hatcher coming up a little bit later on. Some real lunatics running for city council.
Oh, yeah.
And as I found out earlier today, some real lunatics acting as surrogates for city council members. We've got a governor's race in Kentucky tonight. This thing's going to be really close.
And that's a big one, especially because Kentucky, I mean, Trump overwhelmingly won Kentucky, but they've got a Democrat for governor.
Right. Andy Brashear is the incumbent running against the Attorney General, Daniel Cameron. In Ohio, abortion's on the ballot tonight. In Pennsylvania, a chance to win some seats back on their Supreme Court. And in Virginia, pretty much all of their House of Delegate seats are on the ballot. So tonight, I think we're going to get a real taste to see if people are really tired of Democrat policies or are they just tired of Joe Biden? Because that's what we found out in the midterms. The midterms, we expected this to be red wave.
Nope.
And it was not the case at all. But the polling shows that Joe Biden's a total zero. So are people going to vote tonight as a way of giving Joe Biden the finger? Or will they do what they always do and then wait till next year to give Joe Biden the finger? These are the things to keep an eye on tonight. And again, Abdul will join us coming up a little bit after 4. Ethan Hatcher, who lives in Irvington, where the socialist guy has a fairly good chance of winning tonight. We'll talk about how that happens coming up. But right now, Matt Baer, if people are out going to the polls, how are the roads?
I wouldn't use inbound 70 at the moment, at least from rural to the north split. That is stopped. And the delay continues on to southbound 6570 as you make your exit. That's stop and go traffic down to Washington Street. Southbound 65 slows through downtown West Street to Meridian Penn. And looking at eastbound 70, dragging out of the north split from to Royal Street, Keystone Avenue. That's a crash in Fisher's Oleo Road at 131st Street. Traffic sponsored by Lowe's. Shop Black Friday every day and get the best new deals all month long only at Lowe's, because Lowe's knows deals. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Brian on the YouTube chat, because we have the camera set up in studio right now, live YouTube stream. Brian writes, he really does have a grease stain on his shirt. LOL. Again, if you guys want to make that guy famous, knock yourselves out. I just wanted to post the picture.
Those chicken biscuits are greasy. They're good in the morning for breakfast, but they are greasy.
Everything about that guy looks greasy, from his hair to his clothes, and pretty salty language he's got right there. Oh, man, this is fun stuff, baby. I'm here for it. Some of these people are absolute lunatics. 68 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
13%. Lucky number 13%. Right now, you can get a 13% bonus when you invest your money. When you invest $100,000, you'll get a $13,000 bonus right out of the gate. Hey, it's Hammer and Nigel. Not only do we get a 13% bonus, but you could get a competitive return. I'm talking like an average of 7% a year for the past 10 years with Bill Demery.
And Bill Demery is backed by one of the largest insurance companies in the world. Bill Demery is my retirement guy. He explains things to me in a way that makes sense, and his goal is to make sure you keep your money and your money doesn't go to the government. Learn more from Bill Demery, your retirement guy. 317-648-5120. That's 648-5120. This 13% bonus won't last long. 648-5120. Past performance is no guarantee of future returns.
Whether it's driving a race car, building a business, or just being mom, you gotta solve problems. I'm former IndyCar driver Sarah Fisher, and when my problem was foot pain, the Good Feet store became my problem solver. Having the Good Feet store on your team is like having a great pit crew, helping to keep the feet and body in alignment and well balanced. Now I drive, walk, run, and live life pain-free. At the Good Feet store, they know that foot pain can impede everyday life. It's a constant battle that can affect you physically and emotionally, putting a strain on everything from small tasks to big adventures. As Indy's premier arch support specialist, the Good Feet store enhances the quality of life for anyone desiring to live life without limits. My Good Feet arch supports help me cruise through my days in comfort. See how they work for you with a free, personalized fitting at either one of our 2 Indianapolis locations, or make an appointment at goodfeet.com.
In the fight against lung cancer, it's game on, game strong. Franciscan Health leads the way with robotic technology to find and treat cancer sooner. Our entire team of multidisciplinary experts meet you at one convenient appointment. We let cancer know it's hard to play against us. Franciscan Health is changing the game for lung cancer patients. Schedule a consultation or second opinion today. Visit franciscanhealth.org/lung cancer care.
Tony Katz here for 459 Barber Lounge. You want to look your best? You got to go to the best. 459 has highly skilled barbers and stylists with over 100 years of combined experience. They've been serving Indy for over 20 years. They take care of me, and you're going to love your look after a visit to 459 Barber Lounge. They sell beer and wine, and they're open 7 days a week. Newly expanded, newly renovated, across from the Fashion Mall on 86th Street. 459online.com. That's 459online.com. Tell them Tony Katz sent you.
Jesse Kelly here. Do you feel protected? My personal protection plan is owning gold. The Oxford Gold Group helps you buy gold to have on hand or convert it into your 401k. If things get weird, I have gold on hand. I like that. You can buy coins or convert part of your 401k with the Oxford Gold Group. It's easy and safe. 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD. 833-995-GOLD.
The Wendy's Biggie Bag comes with your choice of JBC or crispy chicken sandwich, plus 4-piece nugs, junior fries, and a small soft drink. U.S. price participation may vary. Third-party delivery pricing may be higher.
This hour powered by B&W Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, your American Standard Air dealer.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
One of the few podcasts I listen to, if I'm not listening to WIBC, is Bill Maher's podcast. Like, he has everyone on from Candace Owens. You should go back and listen to that one from October 22nd. That was a really good one because they get along real nice and they start getting into it really heavy. But it's not like an adversarial show. They'll start arguing about Trump or something, and they'll get to a different topic and find common ground on stuff. So he has everybody on from Candace Owens to Kenny G. Neil deGrasse Tyson was recently on, right? And he's like the super smart scientist guy.
Right. Very left, very woke, very progressive. He is a friend to the political left, but brilliant mind when it comes to
like
science.
Astrophysicist or something like that.
Right. And he was on this podcast with Bill Maher, and the subject came up of these spoiled, entitled kids on college campuses that don't want to hear other people's opinions and then make asses of themselves. Like when Riley Gaines wants to go speak somewhere and people protest, and they don't want to hear the speech.
Riley Gaines was on his podcast. Yeah.
And they threaten her. Tommy Lahrens had the same thing happen to her. So this was an interesting back and forth because Bill Maher claims that a popular dude like Neil deGrasse Tyson has the ability to tell some of these college kids, hey, cut the nonsense, but he enables it.
Surely there's a portfolio of jokes that would still work on a college campus. Surely.
I would hope not. From what maybe some college campuses, the ones you read about are fucking insane.
You've given up on an entire generation, and you don't know how to make them laugh. I have given up on any place that doesn't even remotely attempt to believe in free speech and thinks that anything that they hear that they don't like, that they don't agree with, is violence. These people are fucking nuts, and you should be calling them out. Somebody like you who has standing with kids.
Pretty good back and forth there, and he's pointing right at Neil deGrasse Tyson's face.
And he's absolutely right. These colleges are just breeding grounds for socialists, anti-free speech fascists. And you see it coming out places like Harvard, some of these Ivy League schools that have these anti-Israel demonstrations. That they're breeding ground for this ideology. And I don't know how you excuse me, frog in my throat. I don't know how you
eradicate.
Right there,
Biden? Everything going to be okay?
I don't know how you eradicate an ideology. You know what I mean? These ideologues that indoctrinate these kids, these super left-wing professors. And it's just, you actually start to see donors pulling back now their donations for some of these universities that have allow the pro-Hamas demonstrations to go on.
And I wonder if the thought process of some of these students that refuse to hear opposing point of views, does that come from the university? Do they have some professors telling them, hey, this is okay. If you want to get a rally tonight and harass Riley Gaines, maybe we'll give you extra credit. I don't know. It kind of feels like they're already indoctrinated by the time they get there, but I bet a lot of these professors certainly add a little fuel to the fire. Allison, I need some mood music, please. Headline: Disneyland and Disney World have a real problem with people pooping in line. Custodians of Disney are writing articles on Reddit that parents are just letting their young kids crap right there in the lines as they wait for their favorite ride at one of these parks.
So it's not like adults. It's the kiddos that can't wait. And just go off to the side in the bush there, little Johnny.
Or right there in the line. Maybe it'll create a little distance between the people in front of us and the people behind us.
We've been waiting in line for 2 hours. We're not losing our place now. Go poop. You poop right here on the sidewalk.
If your options are losing your spot for Space Mountain or pooping on the sidewalk, what do the Nigel kids do?
Sidewalk. I'm not leaving. At the very least, pee. Just sneak over there behind a trash can. Let it go.
Or put your butt up in the trash can. Go full Jeff Daniels and Dumb and Dumber and just... Like the parents are trying to block him a little bit, but it sounds like they're not even going back behind the bushes. They're going right there in the line and expecting the custodians to come by and clean up all the poop. Most magical place on earth. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
You heard me say before, my new Galaxy concrete garage floor is out of this world, and I say it because I mean it. I am a huge fan of what Galaxy Coatings did with my garage. They put a fresh new coating on my garage that, and by the way, in as little as a day. They were quick. The staff was in and out and totally polite. My floor is now no longer dirty and cracked and uneven. It's 4 times as strong than it was. It's quick to dry, easy to clean. The color's not going to fade. I spend a lot of time in my garage. I love being in there, and I love that they didn't use epoxy either. That's the old stuff. They used polyurea. That's the new premium standard for coatings. Plus, the lifetime warranty in effect. Check out their website to see pictures, get a quote before the winter. It's not too late. GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com or give them a call, 751-9070.
Hey, it's Rob. I started losing hair around my crown and my hairline was starting to recede. I went to We Grow Hair Indie and they helped grow my hair back. My friend Dave First, a sports broadcaster for over 20 years, also struggled with hair loss. Dave, what happened?
My thinning hair was bothering me. For me, I'm in the public eye. I'm a dad also, and I want to look and feel my best. And if I'm going to do something about my hair, I want to go with the best. We Grow Hair Indy. They really set the standard.
Dave, that's amazing. I had the same procedure, multi-unit hair grafting transplants, which gives you more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Call 317-522-2995 for your free hair and scalp evaluation. Find out if hair transplants or PRP is right for you.
If you're thinking about this, don't waste your time or money. Go to the experts.
Call 317-522-2995, 522-2995, or visit WeGrowHairIndy.com, the gold standard for hair restoration.
Have you saved enough? Do you have a plan for Social Security and taxes in retirement? Hey, Casey Weed of Howard Bailey Financial, where our mission is to help you gain clarity and purpose and elevate meaning in your life through personal and practical financial strategies. That's why we want to give you our Retire with Purpose Toolkit at no cost. In it, you'll find valuable information on minimizing taxes, maximizing Social Security, and building a retirement income you can't outlive. Plus, you'll receive a copy of my book, Job Optional. To get your complimentary toolkit, call or text the keyword INFO 42 to 866-482-9559. That's INFO 42 to 866-482-9559.
Howard Bailey Financial is the official wealth management partner of Notre Dame Athletics. Notre Dame Athletics was compensated for this endorsement and is not a current client of Howard Bailey. For more information, please visit howardbailey.com/ND disclosure. Investment advisory services may be offered through Howard Bailey Securities LLC, a registered investment advisor. Working with Howard Bailey Securities LLC cannot guarantee investment success or that specific financial goals will be achieved.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Why she says you should vote. Partly cloudy, 68 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Nothing in your radar. You've got a low of 50 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:31. This election day is personal for Janelle Barlow. She lives in Indianapolis.
My son is a victim of gunshot, so I am wanting a change in the city.
She says you should not vote for a candidate based only on political party, but make sure you're voting for the best person for the job. A couple from Brownsburg pleaded guilty to felony charges for breaking into the U.S. Capitol January 6th, 2 years ago. Court documents say Arthur and Jessica Ryer were caught on video trying to push officers to enter the Capitol building. They'll be sentenced in February. IMPD officers are asking for your help in finding someone who's been missing since last February. 27-year-old Christopher Brown was last seen February 15th. He's 5'11", 140 pounds with black hair and brown eyes. He was last seen being dropped off for an appointment at Community Hospital East off Ritter Avenue. Anyone with info on where he might be should call IMPD. You can find a picture of Brown at WIBC.com. Israel's president wants universities in the States to do more about anti-Semitism on campuses. Fox's Jared Halpern reports.
Israel's President Isaac Herzog says there are too many examples of swastikas pinned on dorm rooms, mobs shouting at Jewish students, and assaults on college campuses in the U.S. Herzog attended both Cornell and NYU and says in a letter to university presidents he learned at those campuses critical thinking skills, serving him throughout his life, and benefited from intellectual freedom. But he says while debate on Israel's actions is welcome, there must be a difference between free speech and speech that promotes violence or the elimination of Israel. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
The regular season starts tonight for IU men's basketball. Head coach Mike Woodson says the talent on this year's team runs deep.
They've shown it and earned my respect in terms of earning minutes. They're going to play.
Woodson talking about his bench players. They play Florida Gulf Coast this evening. Tip-off is at 6:30. Pre-game coverage starts at 5:30 and on WIBC. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:33.
Greetings from R&R Agency, your Indiana health insurance pros. We recently saved a 50-year-old couple over $300 per month when compared to their old individual plan. We recently saved a family of 4 over $400 per month when compared to their quote on healthcare.gov. We are now entering the crazy enrollment season when our federal government will spend millions telling us that healthcare.gov is our only good option for quality health care. Whether it's called healthcare.gov, Affordable Care Act, or it's still Obamacare, don't let the federal government or their big insurance company cronies tell you that you don't have a choice. Give us a call at 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. That's 317-563-0868 or rragency.org. If you don't call us, we can't help you. Quoting the great Dr. Duke Tomato, Lord, please help our Colts. And as always, God bless America, or at least what's left of her.
With traffic at 334, what's going on, Matt Bear?
All right, Harrison, here it is. All lanes closed to westbound 70 coming into downtown between Rural Street and the North Split. They just shut down the interstate moments ago, and traffic is stopped back to Emerson Avenue. This is a crash involving a box truck, possibly a cement mixer, and multiple cars, maybe up to 5. Again, traffic stopped back to Emerson Avenue. Do not use I-72 downtown, at least from the east side. It's Washington Street, US 40 East Washington Street instead. Also, looking at northbound 6570, that's a stop-and-go traffic from the south split up to the north split, and southbound 65 is slowing it downtown stop-and-go traffic 21st to Meridian Penn. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Don't miss the annual B Window Black Friday sale. Up to 52% off all products, plus 10% in manufacturer's rebates and no payments, no interest for 20 months. Visit bwindow.com for details. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
For today, partly cloudy, not as breezy. High temperature of 70 degrees tonight. Partly cloudy, warm overnight lows with low temperatures in the mid-50s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Can we skip to the good part?
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hello, I'm Nigel. Hammer's right over there. Just a little follow-up on that poll we were talking about yesterday. A New York Times Siena poll showed Trump leading Biden in 5 of the 6 key swing states. And that's one thing you've always said. The show's been all about, national polling doesn't matter. It's stupid. What matters is state by state by state, and these swing state polls were pretty shocking. And this poll in particular sent Democrats' heads spinning.
That's what all the weekend talk shows were focusing on, was this New York Times Siena poll that showed out of the 6 key swing states, Trump had a pretty comfortable lead in 5 of them. But here's the caveat. That poll did not factor in RFK Jr. as a third-party candidate. So the update now is that, according to the New York Times, in a new poll, in a 3-way race, Robert Kennedy Jr., RFK Jr., garners about 24% across 6 battleground states.
Which helps out Biden.
Right, because the voters for RFK Jr. are leaving Trump. They're not leaving Joe Biden. Now, Donald Trump still leads, but it's way closer, and it's within the margin of error in a 3-person race. So Trump leads Biden by 7 in Georgia and Nevada, but only by 3 in Michigan, and Arizona and Pennsylvania now go to a toss-up, with Joe Biden still up 2% in Wisconsin.
And again, this is with RFK Jr. in the mix now.
Right.
With this polling. Yeah, I mean, we've been pretty consistent on this show saying that RFK Jr. is going to siphon votes away from Trump because people don't like Joe Biden. They think he's too old, incompetent, economy sucks, but they're going to have to hold their noses and vote for Trump. Now, all of a sudden, they don't have to hold their noses for Trump.
Right. There's another person that you could give your vote to. And let's be honest, bringing it local, this is how a lot of people feel in Marion County with the mayor's race. I don't like Shreve. I really don't like Joe Hogsett. I wish I had somewhere else that I could put my vote down and I could sleep better at night. That's not the case here in Indy, but it is the case at a national level. Dr. Don Levy, the director of college research at Siena, quote, Trump only retains significant leads in Nevada and Georgia. Arizona and Pennsylvania move from the Trump column to dead even, and Wisconsin and Michigan remain very tight. Joe Biden leading in Wisconsin, Trump barely up in Minnesota. It's also noteworthy to point out that among voters under 45 in these key 6 swing states, RFK is polling at 32%. Biden at 30, Trump is 29. So younger voters are gravitating more to RFK Jr.
I don't think, look, everybody needs to realize RFK Jr. is still a radical left-wing Democrat. Crazy climate stuff. At one point called for climate deniers to be put in jail. He walked that back. I do like the stuff he did with the vaccines and Fauci. I'm reading his book right now on Fauci. I'm just through the intro, and it is chilling. I can imagine. I'm not even to chapter 1 yet, and the stuff about Fauci he has in this book is chilling. But anyway, I would say younger people probably. RFK Jr. is definitely a name.
Right.
Got that Kennedy legacy. People are interested in him and what he has to say for sure.
But when do these candidates start attacking him? Because right now he's kind of flying, without any sort of interruption right now. Younger voters, come to me. I'm the best choice here.
I haven't even seen Joe Biden really attack Donald Trump at this point. Here and there, he said, I saw some crazy whacked out video of Joe Scarborough yelling at Joe Biden's administration and his campaign saying, you need to go after Trump more. And he hasn't been doing that.
Yeah.
So you're right. When do they start going after RFK?
Especially if they feel like swing states could become in jeopardy with him being on the ballot. Speaking of Donald Trump, he got another endorsement. Arkansas's Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders has officially endorsed Donald Trump. Now, for a while, she did not endorse him, and I think Trump was like, what the hell? You're my former press secretary. I kind of thought we were cool here, but she has officially came out and hitched her wagon to Donald Trump. Meanwhile, in Iowa, their governor, Kim Reynolds, pretty popular in Iowa when you look at the polling and the approval numbers. She is endorsing Ron DeSantis. She had a big rally the other night, and the worst kept secret was she endorsed Ron DeSantis.
I don't know how much these endorsements mean, especially from politicians that I don't know and have never met. I mean, we were talking about this yesterday. I think I care more about who people in my district think are good for us. I'm tight with a couple of people that really pay attention to local politics, especially in Boone County and where I live in Zionsville. I respect their opinion much more than I would some random politician's opinion. And it works both ways too. I see on Main Street in Zionsville. I think I was telling Guy Relford this yesterday. I mean, there are some businesses that hang the BLM. Trans Black Pride flags, just some crazy stuff outside their businesses, and then they have the names of the town councils out there too. Vote for who, and that's how I know who I'm not voting for.
If this crazy place has got a sign in their yard, I'm going the opposite direction.
Absolutely. So endorsements work both ways, I think.
Do you think, though, in a state that's overwhelmingly Trump red, that Donald Trump's endorsement for Mike Braun helps? I think a Trump endorsement helps in certain states. I don't know how much it flies in Pennsylvania. We saw that Fetterman still won in Pennsylvania. Yeah. But in a state...
but that's how bad a candidate Oz was.
True.
They're both horrible candidates.
But in a state that's in the secure column for Donald Trump in Indiana...
I'd take it. Take it and run with it, Braun.
Yesterday, Donald Trump took the stand on his fraud trial in New York. And a lot of the reports coming out were saying that the judge was refusing Donald Trump's legal team to object and deny things. And at one point was like slamming the table and just being over the top and overbearing.
Yeah, he's already made his decision. They've already said that he committed fraud. The court's already ruled that. This is like a kangaroo circus type of style, civil fraud trial going on right now.
Hell, it sounds, if these reports are true, like the trial in Animal House.
The Delta House has a long tradition of existence to its members and to the community at large.
I think we've heard enough, Mr. Chairman.
It's the judge.
I was told I'd have a chance to...
That's enough. The court will now render a decision.
Well, look, you said I could speak.
He said that's it.
Are you deaf?
Let's finish this damn thing.
That's what's going on with Trump's fraud trial right now. And here to back up that claim is his attorney, Elena Haba.
If we don't stop corruption in courtrooms where attorneys are gagged, where attorneys are not allowed to say what they need to say to protect their clients' interests, it doesn't matter what your politics are. Everyone has a right in this country to get up and put a defense. I don't care who you are. You have a right to hire a lawyer who can put objections on the record. You have a right to hire a lawyer who can stand up and say something when they see something wrong. But I was told to sit down today. I was yelled at And I've had a judge who is unhinged slamming a table. Let me be very clear. I don't tolerate that in my life. I'm not going to tolerate it here. And you know what? You shouldn't either.
I love it. Flamethrower.
And it's a Mickey Mouse operation. It's a total circus.
It is, and I think this discredits, only furthers to discredit some of the other indictments, federal charges. Not this. I mean, this is civil, but this just kind of discredits the whole thing, man. They're going after him. It's a political witch hunt, and it's election interference. Joe Biden. I mean, this one doesn't really have anything to do with Joe Biden, but I mean, the DOJ going after the January 6th stuff, the documents, the Georgia thing, stop the steal. I mean, it's Joe Biden actively trying to silence his competition.
So let's do a little choose your own adventure here, Nige. Do you want to talk about People Magazine getting ready to roll out the sexiest man alive? The big announcement is tonight, because I've got a betting pick for it.
Oh, really?
Or do you want to talk about how Taylor Swift will not be on your football screen anytime soon?
Well, it's already been leaked to me who the sexiest man alive is for People Magazine. It's Dylan Mulvaney. So
I lost the bet.
Who was yours?
Gene Katie.
What?
I had $50 on Gene Katie. Denied again.
You're right. Taylor Swift will not be on NFL screens anytime soon. She starts the international leg of her Eras tour this week in Argentina. And you know what? With the holidays and all the shopping coming up, how can you afford big name entertainment? There's now a money-saving alternative to Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift's on her international Eras tour, and it won't be back in the U.S. until next year. In the meantime, there's an artist you can see and afford. It's Taylor Thrift. You'll love her problematic songs. Why do guys always leave me? You'll love her love of pets. I kinda like cats. Cats don't ever leave me. And you'll hate her boyfriend. I date a guy on the Cleveland Browns. He's a third stringer. Taylor Thrift. Don't miss her. Live in concert this weekend in the parking lot at the mall. Even though permission hasn't been granted by the mall. I'm a Thrifty. Cheap t-shirts and buddy bracelets will be on sale too. Taylor Thrift. See her while she lasts.
I did a guy on the Cleveland Browns.
Kind of the Aldi's version of Taylor Swift, if you will. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Winter is knocking on our doors, Indianapolis, and it's time to get your home ready for the cold Indiana weather. Don't let those chilly winds sneak through cracks in your siding, potentially causing leaks and costly damage. At Moss Roofing, they specialize in more than just roofs. They are here to help you winterize your entire home, from comprehensive inspections to full siding replacements. Moss Roofing has a solution to fit every single budget, even yours. If you're worried about payments in this economy, Moss Roofing has you covered. They've got flexible options that will let you get the roof or siding you need to keep your family safe and your investment, your home, in tip-top shape. Contact Moss Roofing today. 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-747-3665. Moss Roofing. 747-3665 or online at Moss. M-O-S-S. MossRoofing.com.
You know, Low T Center is not like a typical doctor's office where you have a long wait. Low T Center is concierge medicine exclusively for men. I'll give you an example. At Low T Center, they make it easy. That you walk in, you take a simple blood test, and with their on-site lab, you'll get your results back in about 25 minutes. So if you've been feeling tired, if you're grumpy, and have noticed weight gain and loss of muscle mass, these could all be signs of low testosterone levels.
Right now at the Low T Center, it's only $25 to get your T level tested, and the best part, you get your results back in about 25 minutes. So if you are looking to make some changes for the better in regards to your health, check out the Low T Center. It really is your one-stop shop for all things men's health. Set up a time to chat by going to lowtcenter.com. Make that appointment online, lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your independent, locally owned American Standard hometown dealer in Johnson County, Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling. Are you tired of the free air conditioner or furnace sketchy claims and want an honest quote with honest pricing from people who live and work in your community? Call Marshall Mechanical. Just go to callthemarshallnow.com to schedule an appointment. Financing options are available. Subject to credit approval, call for details. Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling, your American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer in Johnson County.
Hey, this is Pastor Micah Beckwith.
And this is Pastor Nathan Peternell here from Life Church.
God told Abraham that through his son, Isaac's line, all the nations of the world would be blessed. Jesus, the Savior of the world, came through Abraham's son of promise.
God said, I will bless those who bless you, and the one who curses you, I will curse. And in you, all the families of the earth will be blessed. Bless the Jews, because every nation has been blessed through God's chosen people.
Would you join with us and pray for the peace of Jerusalem and all of Israel?
Stand up for our Jewish friends and watch God stand up for you.
B&W Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Drains. In business since 1961 for a reason.
Find out why at bplusw.com. B&W is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's Black Friday at B Window. Up to 52% off, plus 10% in manufacturer rebates on all products for a limited time only. Go to bwindow.com today.
Hey, we're pretty social people at WIBC. You can find us all over social media. See what we're up to on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and on YouTube. We're never more than just away. Just search for 93 WIBC.
Coming up here a little bit after 4 o'clock, Abdul will join us in studio. We'll talk about the mayor's race, city council races, but other areas around Central Indy. It's a big night. Carmel, Beech Grove, Lawrence. We will talk to Abdul coming up in just a moment. Right now, Matt Baer has a look at the roads.
All right, Hammer, westbound 72 downtown on the east side is closed. Westbound 70 shut down between Rural Street and the North Split because of an awful-looking crash here. It involves a box truck, maybe a cement mixer, and several cars. Traffic is stopped now back to Emerson Avenue to Arlington Avenue. Also in that delay, the left lane is closed on westbound 70 around Sherman Drive because of a medical emergency. Inbound 65 jams 29th to Meridian Penn. Traffic sponsored by Donate Life Indiana. Say yes to being an organ donor when you renew your hunting license online. Learn more at donatelifeindiana.org. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
68 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Have you ever given the Heimlich maneuver? Have you ever had to be given the Heimlich maneuver, Hammer?
No and no.
Okay, neither have I. Luckily enough, never had to perform the procedure and never needed it either. That's not so with a 7th grader in Pennsylvania named Ethan. He's getting praise after using the Heimlich on his choking classmate, Bryce. Here's Ethan and Bryce talking about it.
We were in the lunchroom just having a casual lunch like usual, and Bryce over here started to choke on an apple. Some of my friends tried to help him out, but I went over and I used the Heimlich and I got the apple that he was choking on.
Yeah, I was just eating lunch and then it suddenly flew down my throat and then I started choking. He grabbed my stomach and I didn't know what was happening. And then he did the Heimlich. He literally saved my life.
That's awesome. The kid's a hero. My question is, where's the teachers?
That's a great point.
Did no teachers try to intervene at any point? It's up to his fellow 7th graders?
Was there nobody else around, no supervisor that could have, stepped in? But no, good for that kid, man. That kid's a hero. That word holds up for him. That kid is a hero. Dateline, Connecticut, stolen Dunkin Donuts truck. And yes, I still call it Dunkin Donuts. They just want to call it Dunkin, but It's still Deer Creek to me. It's still the Hoosier Dome, and it's still Dunkin Donuts.
Hoosier Dome doesn't even exist anymore.
A stolen Dunkin Donuts truck in Connecticut that crashed led to multiple locations in the area without donuts and short supplies for at least a part of the day.
Donut shortage in Connecticut.
Here is an employee talking about the incident.
My manager had contacted the place where we get our donuts from, and they let us know that they were stolen. So they said that the truck had got stolen and the donuts had fallen all out of the back. We had to improvise. We had some rings with nothing on them already, so we had to frost some of those. Some of them laughed. Some of them couldn't believe it. And then we had this one guy even be like, what kind of Dunkin Donuts is this?
Could you imagine being that guy complaining? What the F, man? Well, our Dunkin Donuts truck got hijacked. There's worse. What kind of place is this? There's worse problems in the world going on right now than you can't get your donut, fat ass.
Which brings us to great moments in Dunkin' Donut history.
Uh-oh.
This is when a customer was complaining because they thought a dozen was 50.
I want 50. I need more. 50, 50. That's what a dozen is, not 12. But you don't understand in English.
12 is a dozen.
I want more than 12.
You don't need to be rude.
That's what a dozen is, 50.
I love when people get the units of measurement wrong.
Oh, man.
I got stuck behind a guy in a Subway drive-thru, and the dude was flipping out on the Subway employee because he wanted a half-inch.
That's a tiny sandwich.
And the Subway employee was like, do you mean a 6-inch? No, I want a half-inch. Half a sandwich, a half-inch. I just would have gave him the half-inch.
Oh, again, only these kinds of things only happen to you, man.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Well, you could learn a lot about Window Nation by just looking at the numbers. Over 10,000 positive online reviews. They installed over 200,000 windows last year, 40 times more than the average window company. My mom has cracked drafty windows in her kitchen. She just called Window Nation. She'll have new Window Nation windows in a couple weeks. I'm a customer, and there is quite a deal going on right now. 866-WINDOW-NATION or windownation.com.
This is a deal where you are going to save thousands of dollars. 0% interest for 5 years. And that's on top of the existing deal where you buy 2 windows and get 2 for free. And the best part about that, there's no limit. You want to buy more windows, you get more windows for free. 866-90-NATION. Do yourself a favor and call a Window Nation rep. Lock this deal in. 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Mow, dig, haul, lift. The versatile Kubota BX Series subcompact tractor does it all. Switching attachments is simple, and a smooth hydrostatic transmission makes for easy operation. The Kubota BX Series, rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Stop by McAllister Machinery in Fishers and Indianapolis to see their full line of Kubota, or visit them online at McAllisterKubota.com.
Do you have a wet basement problem? Are you tired of cleaning it up after every rain? Hi, I'm Mike Smith with Swain Co. Crawl Space and Basement Repair, a real, local, Indiana family-owned company. Even a small amount of water in your basement can lead to a huge amount of problems. Don't let your wet basement problem get worse. Call Indy's most trusted basement waterproofer, Swain Co. Crawl Space and Basement Repair at 317-407-1868 or SwainCoLLC.com. And ask about our easy, no-interest, no-payment financing.
You only have one heart, so let's keep it near everyone it beats for. Franciscan Health is leading the way as the only hospital in Indiana to be recognized as one of HealthGrade's 100 best hospitals for cardiac care and coronary intervention in 2024. We're delivering award-winning heart care in your neighborhood, near everyone you love, because our greatest reward is caring for you. Learn more about our compassionate, patient-focused approach to heart care. Visit us at franciscanhealth.org/heartcare.
Hey, you're up next. My throat hurts so bad. There's no way I can sing tonight. Here, try these. Vicks VapoCool Drops. Yeah, Vicks VapoCool Drops has maximum strength menthol with a rush of Vicks Vapors. Ooh, I can already feel it. I told you. So, you ready? I'm ready.
Vaporize sore throat pain fast with Vicks VapoCool Drops.
24/7 ER care for kids. 24/7 peace of mind for you. Riley Children's Health emergency doctors and nurses are in the ER around the clock at IU Health North in Carmel. Learn more at rileychildrens.org/ER.
I'm attorney Darryl Isaacs, the Hammer. Have you been injured by a dog bite? Let us take on the big insurance companies, and we'll fight to get you the money you deserve. Go to WeWin.com for your free case evaluation. Just click and get help quick. Go to WeWin.com. That's WeWin.com.
When was the last time you practiced your home fire escape plan? Be sure everyone in your family knows what to do if there's a fire. Get out, stay out. It's your fire safe response.
Your one blood donation can help save the lives of up to 3 people. Give blood through the American Red Cross to help hospital patients. Visit redcrossblood.org today.
Coming up in 2 minutes, a voting center with a history. John Herrick will have that story. While the Indiana Secretary of State promises your ballot is secure, and IMPD say they're looking for a man who's been missing since last February. They may need your help in finding him. All that and more coming up after Fox News Radio from the Peterman Brothers Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical Studios. You are listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
Conflict in Congress over fighting in the Middle East. Lisa Brady, Fox News. Michigan Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib defending herself on the House floor.
Speaking up to save lives, Mr. Chair, no matter faith, no matter ethnicity, should not be controversial in this chamber.
The Palestinian-American lawmaker facing a censure vote over language she says is an aspirational call for peace.
House Democratic Caucus Vice Chair Ted Lieu says Jews in his district are scared when someone like Tlaib uses words which parrot the charter of Hamas. The phrase, the river to the sea, calls for the elimination of Israel.
They also call for the killing of all Jews. So if someone repeats that phrase in America, it is highly inflammatory.
The tit-for-tat continues. Democrats have a resolution to censure GOP Florida Representative Brian Mast. He called Palestinians Nazis.
Fox's Chad Pergram on Capitol Hill at a pro-Palestinian rally near New York City Hall.
Israel is a terrorist state. Israel is a terrorist state.
The crowd also chanting, "Genocide Joe has to go," criticizing President Biden's support for Israel as thousands of civilians are killed in Gaza. National Security Council spokesman John Kirby says Israel has a right to defend itself from Hamas.
And we ought not forget what happened 1 month ago. 1,400 people slaughtered in their homes at a music festival. And when Hamas decided to conduct operations, it was with the intent of killing people.
He says Hamas has genocidal intentions. The White House says polls should be taken with a grain of salt after a New York Times Siena poll that shows President Biden trailing former President Trump in 5 swing states in a hypothetical matchup. Spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre says there will be a lot of polls. Stocks finish higher, the Dow up 56 points at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Wyatt has a history. Partly cloudy, 69 degrees on the circle. All clear on your radar, low of 50 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. It's a voting center with a history. John Herrick reports in the Benjamin Harrison Presidential Site in Indianapolis.
Since 2015, they've partnered with the Marion County Election Board to serve as a polling site and then later a voting center.
You know, clearly with us being the home of America's Hoosier president, we care a lot about public participation in the American system of self-government, so voting is a fundamental right, and it's great to see people exercise that right.
The president of the Benjamin Harrison site, Charles Hyde, says one group of runners already came in to vote together, so they were exercising their right to vote. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Whether your ballot is secure may be on your mind as you head to the polls this afternoon. Indiana Secretary of State Diego Morales says you've got nothing to worry about.
Obviously, with the ID, it increases the confidence of our elections. But also, we have a robust cybersecurity plan in place.
On All Indiana Politics, he also says they're working on the future of election security. He plans to have voting machines that leave a paper trail of your vote in all 92 counties by July of next year, just in time for the next presidential election. IMPD officers are asking for your help in finding someone who was last seen February 15th. 27-year-old Christopher Brown is 5'11", 140 pounds with black hair and brown eyes. He was last seen being dropped off for an appointment at Community Hospital East off Ritter Avenue. Anyone with info on where Brown is should give IMPD a call, and you can find a picture of him at WIBC.com. The regular season starts tonight for the Indiana Hoosiers men's basketball team. Their head coach, Mike Woodson, believes he's got a deep team this year. That means he's pleased with his bench.
They've shown and earned my respect in terms of earning minutes.
they're going to play.
The Hoosiers play Florida Gulf Coast this evening in Bloomington. Tip-off is at 6:30. You can listen to the game on WIBC. Traffic and weather's next. Your time is 4:04.
13%. Right now, you can get a 13% bonus when you invest your money. That's right. When you invest $100,000, you get a $13,000 bonus right out of the gate. Hey, it's Hammer and Nigel. Not only will you get a 13% bonus, you could also get a competitive return, an average of 7% a year for the past 10 years. And don't forget about the 13% bonus.
And look, you'll sleep well knowing your money is backed by one of the largest insurance companies in the world. Learn more from Bill Demery, your retirement guy, right here in Indy. He's my retirement guy. Let him be your retirement guy. Just call 317-648-5120. That's 648-5120. This 13% bonus won't last long. 648-5120. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you. Past performance is no guarantee of future returns.
With traffic on the 5s at 4:05, here's Matt Baer.
Harrison westbound 72 downtown is an asylum. First, a crash closure after Rural Street, Keystone Avenue. All lanes shut down because of a crash involving a box truck, a cement mixer, and possibly 4 cars. Second problem on westbound 72 downtown is at Sherman Drive. That's a medical emergency blocking the left lane. Then another crash and a delay. It is westbound 70 at Arlington Avenue blocking the right shoulder. That's 3 causing stop traffic after Shadeland Avenue to the north split. I'm using Washington Street, definitely, instead. Inbound 65 stop before 21st to the north split, and eastbound 70 drags from Belmont to the south split. Traffic sponsored by Lowe's. Shop Black Friday every day and get the best deals all month long only at Lowe's, because Lowe's knows deals. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
For today, partly cloudy, not as breezy. High temperature of 70 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy, warm overnight lows with low temperatures in the mid-50s. I'm Wish TV's Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here, and Hammer, we have a very special in-studio guest.
We've got a man that I really wish I could have voted for this morning. Abdul Hakim-Shabazz joins us. Have you heard that a lot today, Abdul?
Actually, yes, I have. You know who I did not hear that from, though? My wife.
You ran for the Republican nomination to be the mayor of Indianapolis. You were defeated in the primary. And after that was all done, that's when Jefferson Shreve came out and rolled out his gun grabber plan. I know we've talked about this before, but since today is election day, taking a look back at everything, Abdul, what was your takeaway from running for mayor and then ultimately Jefferson Shreve winning this thing?
Well, here's the analogy that I've been using all day long. Back when I was in high school, there was this totally hot chick that I was madly, madly in love with, and she was dating a guy who was a jerk. And so I invited her to prom, and she told me, no, I'm not going with you because you're whatever. So she went with the guy who was a jerk, and she had a horrible, miserable time with the guy who was a jerk. So that's how I look at the mayor's race these days.
Got it. I see where you're going there.
Were you surprised when Shreve came out with that gun plan after he had been nominated?
I'd spoken to him. Me and his campaign people kind of spoke beforehand because, like, hey, I heard about you guys' gun proposal. Like, Abdul, how'd you hear about that? Like, don't insult my intelligence. This is what I do for a living.
You heard about it before? Wow.
Yeah, this is what I do for a living. I know things about people. I know what you're doing before you're going to do it. So I heard through the rumor mill. So I'm like, hey, I'm not sure. Public safety director, anti-crime works fine. Mental health works fine. Root causes of crime is fine. But the gun part, that they're not really quite sure about because you're Republican. Your Republican base is very pro Second Amendment.
Right.
I think you can't address the legally possessed gun issue like say, hey, we're going to work with police, work with prosecutors to keep guns out of the hands of people who legally should not have them.
Exactly.
And that's what you should have done and sort of left it at that.
Had you been the nominee, is there a way you could have appealed to the other side of the aisle without crapping all over your base?
Yeah. Easily. It's like, look, guys, we both know that there are too many guns in the hands of too many people who shouldn't have them. So let's focus, let's micro-target our efforts on those folks. Not law-abiding citizens who like to hunt, fish, or don't want to protect themselves. They are not the issue. They're not the problem. And by the way, this whole thing about, you should only buy a gun if you're 21 years old. Trust me, the juvenile who got the gun did not go to a gun store. He got it in an alley at 42nd and Midhofer at 2 o'clock in the morning. That's where he got his gun. Or he probably got it at school. There's a thought, too.
One of the things that, we get a lot on social media is that, well, in Marion County, it's 60% Democrat at least. You're going to have to say some things to win over the other side of the aisle. What would you have done to say, look, I understand you, Democrat voter, might always go and pull that lever blue, but this year is different, and let me explain why.
I'd have said, number one, I like Joe personally, but 8 is enough, like the old TV show. And that would have been my campaign slogan over and over and over again. And matter of fact, it was the mayor of Dallas who was here last Friday for a Jefferson Shreve event, had an interesting perspective. He's like, here's what I'd say to those people who voted for Joe Hawks and intend to vote Democrat. The definition of insanity is do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. You've had 8 years of Hawks said, what do you really expect to change? Indianapolis, don't be insane.
I love it. And I love the 8 is enough campaign slogan.
See, that would have been great. See, I'd been all that. See, I had Shreve's money, I'd be mayor right now.
So how do you feel about Shreve's chances at this point? 4:10 in the afternoon, polling getting ready to close here in a couple hours.
My theory is this: I think the race will be a lot closer. It won't. I don't think it'll be the 71-29 that we saw 4 years ago between Joe Hogsett and Jim Merritt. Because number one, Republicans were actually ahead in early absentee voting, which is almost sort of unheard of.
Right.
Because Democrats tend to vote early, Republicans tend to vote on Election Day. The Republicans were actually ahead in early absentee voting. Now, with that said, however, talking to people today, there's not a whole lot of energy and enthusiasm for either candidate. So I guess the question is
You're preaching to the choir, my friend.
The question is who has less energy, enthusiasm than the other guy does.
Have you heard anything about voter turnout today?
Yes. I checked about 2 o'clock this afternoon. I actually be checking again about 5:30. Right now, I want to say about 2 this afternoon, there are about 125,000 votes cast so far. That's early voting, absentee, in-person, and vote totals today, which brings our vote total participation about 20%. It was about 24% 4 years ago. So the numbers are kind of right on.
Okay, so it's not really up, it's not really down. It's pretty much at this point, again, 4 in the afternoon, on par with what happened previously.
What about early voting, though, compared to previous years?
Early voting was up majorly. Here's the funny thing about early voting. Early voting was up by 10,000 votes, but voter registration, number of registered voters in Marion County was actually down 10,000 people. So there are actually more early voters, but fewer registered voters. Now, does that favor Hogsett? Does it favor Shreve? Is it because of people left the county or because of Clinton voter rolls? That we're not quite sure yet.
What do you make of some of these city, county, council races? Because I believe all of them are on the line, but only 15 are contested. Some don't have an opponent. What are the interesting ones that stick out to you?
I want to say up on the north side, Brianna Delaney versus Matt Hills. That's one I'm paying attention to. Jared Evans, his race down near Wayne and Decatur Chance, I'm paying attention.
I spoke to one of his surrogates earlier today.
Yeah. I heard. How's your show going, by the way? Nobody listens to the show anyway, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's funny, that clown. And again, I posted the photo at Hammer and Nigel. People thought I was exaggerating of the way I described this loser. Nope. Spot on.
We're just tuning in. Hammer walked into the polling place, and one of Jared Evans' surrogates yelled, "The Hammer and Nigel show effing sucks" at him.
Well, I had my kid there with me. To which, I responded, but he started it. So anyway, any chances the Republicans can pick up any seats?
I would say they'll probably pick up about maybe like 3 or 4.
Really?
Yeah, about 3 or 4 seats. Because there were a couple new council districts were drawn. One in Perry Township, and the other one on the north side. So the southern one, the Republicans will get. The north one, the Democrats will get. So
because it's 20-5 right now.
Yeah.
Democrats to Republicans on the council. It's like overwhelming.
Yeah. So I would expect Republicans. I probably expect that number to be like maybe 15-10.
8 Democrats already basically guaranteed 4-year terms on the council hammer starting in 2024? Is that
the Republicans didn't run people against these people?
The Republicans can't find anybody to run and make these guys earn it.
Well, but here's the thing about fielding candidates, and this happened back in 2007, I believe it was. My God, I've been here forever. I need to get out of Dodge and go do something else. Back in 2007, when Ballard ran the first time, a lot of people said, hey, Greg Ballard won, he beat Bart Peterson. But there was also some mechanics behind that because Tom John, who was the Marion County chairman at the time, in full disclosure, good friend, he was in my wedding party, did not run candidates in Center Township. And so a lot of people thought that because Bart Peterson was going to win, why go bother to vote? And since their city council didn't have a challenger, they're like, hey, why go bother to vote in that race as well? And so those districts closed out early, and the next thing you know, Greg Ballard was ahead early on in the night. So we're like, okay, fine, this will change when Center Township comes in. But Center Township had closed up early. I'm like, hey, wait a second here. We could be saying, holy crap. I didn't say crap, I used another word.
Right.
Holy, we could see a new mayor here. Next thing you know, I, Greg Ballard, do solemnly swear to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States of America.
I mean, this one guy running in Irvington is an absolute lunatic.
Yeah, it's
Jesse Brown.
Yeah, it's a Democrat versus like the socialist guy. I'm like, what in the world is going on?
Zach
here?
Adamson wasn't progressive enough for this district, so they put Jesse Brown in there, and man, the Libertarian's the only one running against him, and you tip your hat to the candidate for trying, but this lunatic, I keep saying that word, is going to be on the city county council.
I keep an eye on that one because I think the Libertarian may actually have a shot at actually winning because the Democrats, they all love David Ray, and they can't stand what's-his-face.
Interesting. All right, I'm going to fly through a couple different areas tonight. You give me your thoughts, anything that you're hearing. The mayor's race in Carmel.
Sue Finkham is what I'm hearing, Sue Finkham up there. While Miles tried to sort of nationalize the election and bring up sort of the Moms for Liberty type thing, I've been kind of keeping an eye on Turn It Up in Hamilton County, and it's been very heavily Republican today.
In Greenfield, it is a race between Nate Anderson, Larry Silver, and Guy Titus.
Which one's a Republican again? I want to say Nate.
Guy, yeah.
It's Greenfield. It's Republican. It's going to stay Republican.
What about Lawrence? Any dirt on what's happening in Lawrence?
Lawrence is going to be close. That is Deb Whitfield versus Dave Hoffman. That race has always been close because Lawrence has always been sort of a very close sort of election. That could be the one that takes all night to figure out.
And in my old stomping grounds, Beech Grove, you've got Rick Skirvin, who's the Republican, against James Kaufman, who is the current clerk treasurer.
Once again,
toss up. Voter turnout is key.
Yep.
Now, you're going to be doing some stuff online tonight. We've got IU basketball starting at 5:30. And then after the game, we're going to have live coverage. But during the game, I think you, John Herrick, some of our folks in the newsroom are giving us updates, right?
Yes, we'll be doing updates online and we'll be doing updates all over the place.
Facebook, Twitter, follow WIBC, follow Abdul. Abdul, I appreciate you taking the time, man. Thank you so much.
I have to go downstairs and have my pre-election cigar now.
There you go. All right, Matt Baer, what's going on?
All lanes closed coming into downtown from the east side. It is westbound 70 crash. Closure after Rural Street Keystone Avenue involves a box truck, a cement truck. 4 cars or more, and traffic is stopped right now. Back to Shadewood Avenue. Keep in mind, in this delay, we have 2 other problems. First, a crash at Sherman Drive blocking the right shoulder, then a medical emergency before the closure blocking the left lane. So 3 problems. If you're coming in on inbound 70 on the east side, use Washington Street, US 40 instead. Inbound 65 because of all this now stop from 29th to the north split. Eastbound 70 slow to downtown from Belmont to the south split. Traffic sponsored by Arizona State University. With ASU Online, you get everything the nation's most innovative university has to offer. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu. That's asuonline.asu.edu. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
68 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Is This Anything? Next.
The only real estate agent I trust to sell my house, real estate expert Mark Dietl. Maybe you got a growing family or working from home means you need more space. Kind of like Jim and Emily in Shelbyville. They were ready for more space and an upgrade for their family. They heard about Mark on our show and were impressed by his aggressive marketing campaign. Homes sold in 2 days for cash.
And a lot of people ask us, why do you guys recommend Mark Dietl? It's simple. The guarantee. Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. The Mark Dietel guarantee is what separates him from all the other competition. Call the only agent that we trust and recommend on the Hammer and Nigel show. Mark Dietel, 317-755-4232, or go to markdietel.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietel.com. Tell him Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Fall in Indy, and if you hate the paint, do what your neighbor Mark did. He called Rhino Shield.
A two-story home built in 1992. Around 2001, looking at needing the paint, I heard a radio ad, with Rhino Shield, you won't have to paint again for another 25 years.
Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating, better than paint.
They're very professional. We had everything done. Everything that would typically be painted on a house was done, and it was very fast.
Our 25% off special has been extended through November. Plus, receive a free TV up to 75 inches just by having your job done by spring of 2024.
From what I've seen on our home, they can easily offer a 25-year guarantee and not worry about it.
Remember, you have until the end of November to receive 25% off. Plus, get your job done by spring of 2024 and receive a free TV. Restrictions apply. Here's owner Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Where do you feel the pain, guys? Look, sometimes you're getting older, you feel it in the knees or the hips, the shoulder, the back, but you don't have to let it sideline you. And if it is, talk to the professionals at QC Kinetics. Tony Katz here, and QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, restoring and repairing damaged joint tissue. Surgery is not your only option. Take a breath, take a beat, and talk to QC Kinetics first. With demand so strong, QC Kinetics has added Saturday appointments right here in the Indianapolis area. Do you have arthritic pain or pain from an injury? Call QC Kinetics. Don't just live with it. That's crazy. No drugs, no downtime, no surgery. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. QC Kinetics. It's in Eagle Creek, in Greenwood, and now in Carmel, with those Saturday hours at all 3 locations. Call 317-559-PAIN. 317-559-PAIN. QC Kinetics. Eagle Creek, Greenwood, and now in Carmel. 317-559-PAIN.
Jesse Kelly here. Do you feel protected? My personal protection plan is owning gold. The Oxford Gold Group helps you buy gold to have on hand or convert it into your 401k. If things get weird, I have gold on hand. I like that. You can buy coins or convert part of your 401k with the Oxford Gold Group. It's easy and safe. 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD. 833-995-GOLD.
Hi, it's Bob from Royal Spa. Did you know you can experience the ultimate rejuvenation with our unique hot tubs made right here in Indianapolis? Royal Spa hot tubs are the only hot tubs compatible with Epsom salts. Imagine the tensions melting away as you step into the luxury of a Royal Spa hot tub. And now is a great time to invest in your rejuvenation. We built our inventory back up and now have new models, scratch and dents, and even demos ready for delivery. Experience the difference for yourself. Visit us online at royalspa.com.
Ah, Royal Spa.
By listening to WIBC, you'll learn how to create a secure income plan that is sustainable throughout retirement from Crown Haven Wealth Advisors. Tune into WIBC this Sunday from 9 to 10 p.m.
This hour powered by B&W Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, your American Standard Air dealer.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Oh, Hammer, how do we play? Is this anything?
This is where I run a couple different stories by you. You, Big Nige, you act as the judge. You weigh out all the information and you give us a verdict. Is the story anything or not? We start with this. A deer crashed into a lingerie store in Michigan and just trashed the place before it found its way back outside.
Yeah.
Here is the store owner, Lauren, talking about the ruckus caused by the deer.
We had a deer leap through our glass door and create an entire ruckus all the way around the shop.
Can you describe the ruckus?
It was not a small doe by any means. I mean, you were not going to mess with this deer.
Yeah, I'm looking at pictures now. There's lingerie all over the place. There's blood on the walls.
Good Lord.
Broken mirrors. And I mean, this is only a string. there's tons of stories. Like a buck crashed into a noodles company in Wisconsin last month, and then the very next day, a deer crashed through the window of a Pennsylvania middle school. So these things happen all the time. Deers are the dumbest animals on earth. I swear to God, right up there with the koalas and the sloths.
Can I put a fly in there too? Because a fly could be in your house or in your car, and you roll down the window, and the dumbass still can't find its way outside.
By the way, I like the name of the lingerie store in Michigan. It's called Curvaceous Lingerie.
So what you're telling me is that it's time for great moments in deer crashing into buildings history. That's what I heard. Here's a deer crashing through the window of a hair salon.
Oh!
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! All right, wait. Oh my God, you okay? You okay? Close the door back there. Oh my God!
I mean, that sounds like, a riot. People breaking into the store and going nuts and looting.
That's a ruckus there.
That was a ruckus.
Great moments in deer crashing into buildings history. This is when a deer came through the house.
Jeez.
And last but not least, I think this one's my favorite. The poor old folks in the nursing home.
Oh, yeah.
They're in their beds, they're eating their oatmeal, and a confused deer comes crashing through the window.
Oh, my God. Don't! There's a deer in here. Oh, he's out! He's out! Look out!
I like how he stated the obvious right there. Don't. There's a deer in here. Oh, really? Really? I didn't see that deer that happened to break through the window.
And like my favorite part was the deer busting through the glass because it sounded so perfect. It sounded like the music of Stone Cold Steve Austin when he used to come into the ring.
Don't! There's a deer in here. Oh, he's out! He's out! Look out! He's out! No way!
Oh, wow.
I mean, it was the perfect
that is
sound effect for that. Is this anything? Authorities have seized over 220 pounds of drugs, including fentanyl, from the basement of a multifamily home in Massachusetts. On top of that, some of the narcotics were shaped like candy hearts.
Oh, man.
Here's the acting U.S. Attorney Joshua Levy talking about the drug bust.
This is new to us. This marketing of drugs like candy is a new development, and it's a very frightening development.
Yeah, so what are they trying to get kids to take fentanyl now?
Bingo.
That is scary stuff, and it's all due to the porous southern border. I mean, how many? Okay, so they seized over 220 pounds of drugs. So what? That's nothing in the grand scheme of things. I mean, you listed off I remember like last month we had a bunch of stats on how much fentanyl was actually bought. I mean, it was in the thousands of pounds. And that's the stuff that was busted that we know about.
Right. Tons more are in this country that were never
and now they're marketing to kids. That's scary, man. Watch what your kids are doing.
Is this anything? Here's a comedian, Jason Selvig, interviewing a flat earther. Yes, these people are still out there, flat earthers, and I seriously doubt you can predict what this guy believes.
If the earth is flat, where is the sun? It's 93 million miles away.
When you say the sun, there is no the sun. Everybody has their own sun. So there's a different sun for everybody.
What do you mean a different sun? I don't understand that. There's a different sun here in Las Vegas than there is in New York?
You're not looking at the same sun there, correct.
So how many suns are there?
As many people who are viewing it.
Every individual person has their own sun?
Correct. The sun's no more than 50 miles away at any given time.
But wait a second. Airplanes go up in the sky.
That's right. And it's like a rainbow.
How come the sun doesn't get bigger when you're in an airplane?
The closer you move to it, the farther it moves from you. It's like a rainbow. It's not like a burning ball of gas.
What is the sun then?
Cold.
Sun is cold.
Sun is
Sun is
cold.
cold.
That guy makes more sense in the last 3 Joe Biden speeches.
That's true.
Right?
That's very true. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Well, I love Exercise Inc. I've been with the program for years, and it works. If you're looking for a fresh, unique way to work out, to get healthy, to exercise, I would check out Exercise Inc. It's a once-a-week strength training program that only lasts for 20 minutes. I usually here at work. When I'm out at work, I'm with the family, raising kids. I don't have time to go to the gym. But with Exercise Inc., what they've done is they've created a way to get stronger, healthier, improve your cholesterol, lower your blood sugar in only 20 minutes a week. And here's why. You do the 20 minutes once a week. That's fine. It's a hard workout, by the way, but it's safe enough that anyone can do it. So not only do I get the one-on-one coaching inside the gym, but I'm getting help on what to do to stay active and live a healthier lifestyle outside the gym as well, including your eating habits with the Simple 9 nutritional program. Look, there's literally Exercise Inc. all over town. Avon, Brownsburg, Greenwood, Zionsville, new one up at Fishers. Check out the success stories, exerciseinc.com. Make an appointment, free consultation, change your life in 20 minutes a week. Exercise Inc.
The game of football is about pain. Ever since I was 5 years old, it's been all about football. It's been about running, jumping, blocking, tackling. I stopped playing at 31.
You're listening to Michael Robinson, retired pro fullback.
I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life. I'm so glad I met Good Feet. I'm so glad that those arch supports are in my shoes. I have terrible foot issues that prevented me from really having a normal life with my kids. With the Good Feet arch supports, man, I'm always ready. My kids actually got to enjoy me in the yard more, racing each other, backpedaling, teaching them some things, being a dad. If I had known about the Good Feet arch support earlier, I would have more than one championship. I would have 2 championship rings.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
We're in your neighborhood. Visit goodfeet.com to find the location nearest to you.
Hey, this is Pastor Micah Beckwith.
And this is Pastor Nathan Peternell here from Life Church.
God told Abraham that through his son, Isaac's line, all the nations of the world would be blessed. Jesus, the Savior of the world, came through Abraham's son of promise.
God said, I will bless those who bless you, and the one who curses you, I will curse. And in you, all the families of the earth will be blessed. Bless the Jews, because every nation has been blessed through God's chosen people.
Would you join with us and pray for the peace of Jerusalem and all of Israel?
Stand up for our Jewish friends and watch God stand up for you.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
He went after a bank. Partly sunny, 67 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Nothing on your radar. Low temps to the 50s tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:31. Well, out on parole, police say a man from Indianapolis tried to add to his payroll and got arrested. John Herrick reports.
Jaquan Smith pled guilty to 4 counts of bank robbery, and he will spend nearly 13 years in federal prison. Investigators say Smith got out on parole on June 30th of 2021 after he robbed banks in Marion and Hamilton counties in 2018, only to rob 4 more banks in October of 2021 and steal nearly $25,000. This week, FBI Special Agent in Charge Herbert Stapleton says Smith's reign of terror is finally over. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A couple from Brownsburg pleaded guilty to felony charges for breaking into the U.S. Capitol January 6th 2 years ago. Court docs say Arthur and Jessica Ryer were caught on video trying to push officers out of the way and enter the Capitol building. The two will be sentenced in February. Red paint handprints were left at the gates of the White House by pro-Palestinian protesters yesterday. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre isn't saying much about them.
I would have to refer you to the Secret Service on that and the Park Police for questions about the way the protest was handled.
She says President Biden does not approve of the handprints. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says cutting funding from the IRS would be dangerous.
Playing politics with IRS funding is unacceptable. Cutting it would be damaging and irresponsible.
That's what House Republicans did in a bill that approved funding to support Israel. Democrats say that bill won't make it through the Senate. And a look at stocks brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management, LLC. The Dow up by 56 points to 34,152. The NASDAQ up by 121 to 13,639. And the S&P 500 rising by 12 points, closing the day at 4,378. Traffic and weather's next in 1 minute. Your time is 4:33.
At Absolute Wealth Management, LLC, we understand that your retirement and taxes are inseparable. And if you're over 50, we're offering a special deal to kickstart your financial journey in 2024. You can have your 2023 tax return prepared and filed, including Schedules A, B, and D, for just $79.95. This can be the start of a lifelong, profitable partnership with Absolute Wealth Management, LLC. All our retirement planning clients will continue to receive the substantial discount for tax filing and preparation as part of our ongoing retirement marathon that focuses on protecting everything you've worked so hard to build while still providing growth to help elevate your lifestyle in retirement. Take absolute control of your retirement. Call us now at 317-288-0634, 317-288-0634, or visit AbsoluteWealthManagementLLC.com. Investment advisory service is offered through Gradient Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Gradient Advisors, LLC, and its advisors do not render tax, legal, or accounting advice.
With traffic at 4:34, here's Matt Bear.
All right, Harrison, from the east side to downtown, westbound 70 is stopped before 465 after Rural Street, Keystone Avenue. That's several miles there of stopped traffic because of a crash and closure after Rural Street, Keystone. It's blocking all the lanes. It involves a cement truck, a box truck, several cars. Then we have a secondary crash going westbound 70 at Arlington. That is on the right shoulder. Again, total stop traffic 465 past Rural. Use Washington Street instead. Inbound 65 jammed up. MLK to Meridian Bend. Eastbound 70 stopped from Belmont to the south. A split in a crash 21st at Shadeland Avenue. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Don't miss the annual B Window Black Friday sale. Up to 52% off all products plus 10% in manufacturer's rebates and no payments, no interest for 20 months. Visit bwindow.com for details. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Mostly cloudy tonight with a few showers possible overnight. Lows in the mid-50s. Wednesday, highs in the mid-70s and mostly cloudy skies. Scattered rain late with breezy winds. Gusts up to 20 to 30 miles per hour expected. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Crime, punishment, judges, legal stuff.
You know, Hammer, I'm still not confident. I don't like what's going on with this Delphi case. It seems sort of messy right now. The man that's accused of the murders wants the Indiana Supreme Court to step in and reinstate his full defense team. You remember a couple of weeks ago they were removed from the case by the judge, Frances Gull. She said, you know, something about gross negligence or something like that.
Right.
And it's just,
this was after the leaked crime scene
Yes.
photos
Yes.
from the office made their way to a number of different people, including some places online. But we're talking about some of the grisly photos that no one is supposed to see until a trial. So Judge Fran Gull, who's overlooking this whole thing, said that was gross negligence, and they removed those two attorneys. Well, now Richard Allen's saying, look, I want the Supreme Court to step in. I want these guys back. Yeah. These were the guys that I wanted to defend me. So you're right. It's a mess. But this is what the defense wanted, right? Is this a mess because the defense wanted this to be a circus, or is this a mess because the judge has lost control or the prosecution hasn't really done a lot? Like, is the perception of this worse than the real reality?
It seems like my perception is that it's not going well for the judge, it's not going well for the prosecution, and the defense. This is all sort of coordinated, and it is not looking. I just at the end, and some of the stuff you and I have heard going on behind the scenes too that we can't mention. I'm dying for justice for Abby and Libby. You know, I mean, it's, you know, take as long as you need. By the way, the trial's not for another year.
Right.
He's wanting a speedy trial.
Right.
The accused, Richard Allen. But just take as long as you need to get everything right before you move on with this thing.
This motion filed is asking the Indiana Supreme Court to add Andrew Baldwin and Bradley Rossi back onto Allen's defense team, and they've also filed a request to have Judge Fran Gull removed from the case. So, again, this is a soap opera right now, but this is exactly what the defense wanted.
Maybe the Indiana Supreme Court should step in then. Maybe the Attorney General, Todd Rokita, needs to take a hard look at what's going on down there.
Doing some legal stuff here. So yesterday, we talked about this briefly, but we had a lot of stuff going on. Did not get to spend a lot of time on it, but the Nashville Manifesto, the transgender monster that walked into the school and shot the children, the manifesto, at least 3 pages of it, were leaked to conservative host Steven Crowder. And he put that out on his social media.
We didn't really mention it yesterday. We didn't know if it was legit or not. We wanted to get confirmation. There's several sources now that are confirmed. In fact, actually, the police down there in Nashville have released a statement saying we're very concerned about the leak of this manifesto.
And there's a lot more. Candace Owens on Twitter says there's a lot more, multiple notebooks that have not been leaked out. But the first couple pages, the high-profile pages, is what Steven Crowder had yesterday. And it shows kind of what we thought, a deranged lunatic deciding to go after children and shoot and kill as many as possible.
I got some of it right here for you. Kill those kids. Kill those crackers going to private fancy schools with those fancy khakis and sports backpacks with their daddy's Mustangs and convertibles. F you little S's. I wish to shoot your weak-ass D's with your mop yellow hair. Want to kill all you little crackers. A bunch of little homophobic slurs with your white privilege. F you. So, I mean, look, this is a hate crime. They have been trying to suppress this from day one. Google and Facebook have taken this story down. And when I see stuff like white privilege, I'm thinking, oh, well, that sounds an awful lot like DEI indoctrination to me, mixed in with a little hormone therapy from the transition going on. I mean, and by the way, that shooting, if you remember that week, the shooting happened, I believe, the day before the, quote, Trans Day of Vengeance. Remember that?
Sure.
And after, and the media and big tech worked to suppress the Trans Day of Vengeance because of that shooting. And it confirms what we already knew. This was racially motivated. This is a hate crime, and the Department of Justice knew it was a hate crime because they knew what was in this manifesto and did nothing about it.
And why are we just now getting this confirmed? Because when the main shooter decided to go on his rampage, that piece of crap from Maine, that night we had his search engine history. We knew everything about this guy.
Yeah.
But the Vegas shooter and the Nashville shooter, for whatever reason, and I think we all know what it is, were protected by the national media.
Well, you remember Creed Jean-Pierre came out with a bunch of statements about the trans community immediately after the shooting. Kamala Harris met up. Do you remember those Tennessee state reps that like incited sort of an insurrection there in Tennessee, there at the State House? She didn't meet with the victims. She met with those state reps, if you remember.
Right.
And it's just like, it's almost like Hamas, and they brutally slaughtered 1,400 Israelis, and Kamala comes out and warns us against Islamophobia. I swear this is kind of the same thing.
On the subject of that and hate crimes, 69-year-old man was killed Sunday after he got into an altercation with a pro-Palestinian demonstrator, which is fancy talk for pro-Hamas rioter, in Thousand Oaks, California. This was confirmed by the police. Paul Kessler, who was reportedly Jewish, died as a result of injuries sustained during an altercation at this event, which was occurring simultaneously. You had a pro-Israel and a pro-Hamas rally all kind of happening at the same time, and a Jewish man was stabbed and killed. So I'm wondering, is this going to be a hate crime? Now, look, a lot of people, and I kind of think I fall into this category, I don't buy the term hate crime because I think a crime is a crime. It's a hateful act regardless of what your ethnicity is or whatever. But if you're somebody that goes along with hate crimes, somebody needs to be charged with it here. because that's what this was about.
Was it a stabbing, or did they hit him over the head with the bullhorn and he fell down and hit his head and later died? This might be a separate incident. There's more and more of these incidents happening all over the globe.
Right.
So it's really scary, and they're openly saying it. These pro-Hamas people are openly talking about genocide for Israel. When they say for the land of the sea, well, what's that? What is that land right there between the Jordan River and the Mediterranean? What does that say for the land of the sea? Palestine must be free.
That would mean
that means you want to eradicate the Israelis.
Yeah. But Rashida Tlaib said that's not what it means. And she wouldn't lie to us, and she wouldn't be a bigot, would she? No, of course not.
Stop it.
You know what? It's kind of occurred to me over the last couple of weeks, ever since this war began, you see so many folks that all of a sudden are pro-Hamas, pro-Palestinian, doing these rallies, riots, marches, just for the sake of being anarchist almost. It's like the BLM movement has been completely repackaged, and now it's pro-Palestine. Because during the BLM riots, there's a lot of people that didn't give a blue damn what happened to George Floyd. They wanted to come downtown to cities to loot, to create chaos.
Agitators, bad actors.
Right. And in some places, kill people. We saw that. 2 people died here in Indianapolis. Others died around the country. Bad actors came down just because they thought they had a free pass to do it. And that feels like what's kind of happening right now. And this is why I hope law enforcement is given the green light to actually do their jobs and protect things if things get ramped up a little bit more. Because during the Summer of Love, when Joe Hogsett was absolutely positively not in rehab, wink, wink, whoever was calling the shots let the rioters basically do whatever they want. And we've spoken to enough law enforcement officials who said we could have prevented it all.
Absolutely.
But we have to follow protocol. We have to follow orders. And Joe Hogsett was not here to make that call. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Loving this 13% bonus you can get when you invest your money. That's right. When you invest $100,000, you get a $13,000 bonus. Boom. Just like that, right out of the gate. Hey, it's Hammer and Nigel. Not only are you going to get a 13% bonus, you can get a competitive return as well. We're talking it's like 7% a year for the past 10 years.
Based here in Indy, Bill Demery is my retirement guy. He should be your retirement guy. Bill Demery, I met with him a couple weeks ago. Explained things to me in a way I can understand, and we all have the same goal. Bill Demery wants you to keep your money, and he wants the government to keep their filthy hands off of your money. So you need to call him today. Set up a time to chat. I'm telling you, it's worth your time. 317-648-5120. This 13% bonus won't last long. 317-648-5120. 648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy. Past performance is no guarantee of future returns.
Hi, my name is Deb Whitfield, and I currently serve as a member of the Lawrence Common Council. I'm here to tell you a little bit about my friend, Maggie A. Lewis. Since being elected, Leader Lewis has introduced laws that are improving the quality of life for my family and yours. From adding more police officers to protect our families, prioritizing road improvements and infrastructure, to preparing our children for long-term success, Leader Lewis has been making a difference in our community. That's why on Election Day, November 7th, make sure you re-elect Majority Leader Maggie A. Lewis to the Indianapolis City County Council. We need leaders who can get the job done, and Maggie has a proven track record. She is a leader who is prepared, experienced, dedicated, and a friend in our community.
Hi, I'm Maggie Lewis. Your vote does make a difference. Paid for and authorized by Maggie Lewis Campaign. Peter O'Coffer, Treasurer.
It's the season of giving, and my friends at Hope Plumbing are joining the fun. Hey, Pat Sullivan here. During the months of November and December, get a free water softener with the purchase of a tankless water heater. You heard that correct. A free water softener with the purchase of a tankless heater only at Hope Plumbing. Be the most liked family member and give the gift of endless soft and hot water this winter. Visit hopeplumbing.com for all their holiday specials, or give them a call at 641-HOPE.
At Grainger,
We're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Need a new furnace or air conditioner? Get the best from B&W Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Drains.
Go to B+W.com. B&W, your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's Black Friday at B Window. Up to 52% off, plus 10% in manufacturer rebates on all products for a limited time only. Go to bwindow.com today.
Join WIBC Saturday, November 11th for the Home and Garden Show live from Sullivan Hardware and Garden from 9 to 1. Meet us at 71st and North Keystone and gobble up turkey at Turkey Fest with Sullivan Hardware and Garden and 93 WIBC.
How about we give away some tickets? Caller number 9 right now at 239-9393. Couple tickets to go see Hootie and the Blowfish, June 8th, Ruoff Music Center. Big Nige, give me your best Hootie impression.
Let's see. Hold my hand. Want you to hold my hand. I want to love you the best that I can. That's weak. It's kind of like a cross between Eddie Vedder and
a dying man. But if you want to go see the real Hootie and the Blowfish, caller number 9, 239-9393, Matt Bear.
Westbound 70 going into the North Split has reopened with 2 right lanes blocked. This is a serious crash with a cement mixer, a box truck, and multiple cars. Traffic still stopped back to 465 Washington Street, the only option there. Look at it southbound 465 on the east side. That's stop and go traffic before Penn Pike down to South Shadeland Avenue. Inbound 65 jams from MLK to the North Split. Eastbound 70 dragging into the South Split from Belmont. And this is a crash 21st at Shadeland. Traffic sponsored by Donate Life Indiana. Say yes to being an organ donor when you renew your hunting license online. Learn more at donatelifeindiana.org. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
67 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
See, I was wasted, and I was wasting time till I thought about your problems.
I think you're a little ahead of where Hootie is in the song right here.
I'm down for Hootie, though.
That
was one of the, back when that was released in the mid to late 90s. I mean, that was front to back.
Dude, everybody had that album.
Yeah.
Like, it was mailed
Everybody
out.
had it.
Like, once you hit middle school, it was required. The government had to put it in your mailbox. Everybody had Cracked Rear View from Hootie and the Blowfish. It's Election Day here on the Hammer and Nigel show throughout the great state of Indiana and across the country. So we've got IU basketball starting at 5:30 here tonight. But if you want to keep up on what's happening with all the races, WIBC, Facebook, and Twitter. Our newsroom, Abdul, they're going to be putting out updates all through the night. And once the IU game ends, then I think we have live coverage after that. So we got you covered here tonight.
So Facebook and Twitter during the IU game, right?
Correct. And, man, it's going to be interesting. City, county, council races, some key mayor races all throughout Central Indy. And the polls close here in just about an hour and 8 minutes. So if you have not yet voted, get out and do your thing. Miss Allison, something special has happened, and I need some mood music.
Lois, it's back!
I heard, Peter. I heard!
Kids, it's happening! Get your coats! This is what we practiced for!
Ladies and gentlemen, the McRib is back.
OMG, the McRib is back. Why was it ever gone?
Exactly!
The McRib! It's back, Nigel.
I was wondering where you're going with that. The McRib's back. Okay, congratulations.
The iconic McRib making its highly anticipated return. The McRib made its debut in the United States in 1981 in Kansas City. You know, Kansas City's kind of a hotbed of barbecue, so they thought, hey, let's add a barbecue-type sandwich, and it took off. And since then, it's been a staple of the McDonald's menu, even though they try to tell us it's only here for a limited time.
It's a staple every year, but it's not a permanent staple. It's like, they release it at certain seasons, certain times of the year.
Like the Shamrock Shake. Sure. I would say that's a staple every March. People feel like they have to get the Shamrock Shake.
So how many of these McRibs are you thinking about putting down this season?
14. The over-under is set at 14. And Nigel, this brings us to great moments in McRib history.
Okay.
Here is Larry the Cable Guy.
You know what I noticed about the McRib? You only see it at McDonald's 2 months a year, and then you never see it again. I figured out why. It takes 10 months to hunt down and shoot whatever the hell kind of meat that is in McRib.
Great moments in McRib history. Now that we're past Halloween, I feel like we can do this. Holiday memories with Terry Stacy.
Are you ready to get this party started?
Holiday memories with Terry Stacy.
I've always said the best way to get me under the mistletoe is to give me a shot of Jaeger and buy me a McRib.
And this has been Holiday Memories with Terry Stacy.
That's all it takes.
Just a quick side note. I was at the new Dick's Sporting Goods in Wrightstown on Sunday. Nothing but Christmas music.
Already?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, one song after the other the entire time we were there.
But again, here's the thing about the McRib. Don't tell me that it might not ever come back, because...
Might not.
Oh, stop it. Stop it. As a matter of fact, I've done a rant about this in the past. Allison, hit the music. When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the bullcrap of fast food marketing campaigns, we must stand firm and united and say, not today, pal. We saw this with the Mexican pizza, and as George W. Bush once said, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me, we won't be fooled again. And we're not going to get fooled again by a trick by some 23-year-old marketing worm. We don't need gimmicks to go to McDonald's. You know they're not going to remove the McRib permanently.
Of course not.
Stop it. We will not stand for your lies, your propaganda, and your tyranny, McDonald's. We've been loyal customers for billions and billions of burgers served over years. But if you want to treat us like ignorant children, you can kiss my Big Mac and suck my McNuggets, because we're not going to take this anymore. We bought your Happy Meals. We tolerated your shake machine being down 90% of the time. But this is where we draw the line. So I speak on behalf of all McDonald's fatties when we say we hold these truths to be, the thing.
The thing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Bravo.
The Hammer and Nigel Show. Top stories coming up next.
Changing. Thanksgiving is just around the corner, and you really kind of know what that means, right? It's time to start making your list, checking it twice. And here is some important advice for you. If you're planning to propose this holiday season, it's time to design the perfect wedding ring now. Every Diamonds Direct engagement ring is handcrafted to perfection. It takes some time, so don't wait. Start designing your dream ring today.
Diamonds Direct is your one-stop shop for all things during the holiday season. Whether you want to get a little head start on Christmas shopping, whether you've got an engagement or a special anniversary that you're saving up for, get your money's worth at Diamonds Direct. They have a gift right now even Santa can't beat. Get any natural diamond at Diamonds Direct and get a 14-karat gold solitaire setting for free. Beat the rush. Get there in November and make this holiday season one to remember. Diamonds Direct, Tom Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Fall in Indy, and if you hate painting year after year, do what your neighbor Edwina did. She called Rhino Shield.
Over the years, I just got to the point where I couldn't spend any more money on the outside of the house. And when I saw Rhino Shield, I thought that was the answer to my problem.
And Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating, better than paint.
I'd had painters here before, and it was usually quite a disaster, but Rhino Shield was right on it.
Our 25% off special has been extended through November. Plus, receive a free TV up to 75 inches just by having your job done by spring of 2024.
The gentleman said, if you're interested, give me a call. And I said, honestly, can you come tomorrow?
Remember, you have until the end of November to receive 25% off. Plus, get your job done by spring of 2024 and receive a free TV. Restrictions apply. Here's owner Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
She's running around. Her breath doesn't smell. Her digestive system is perfect. It has made such a huge difference.
What did this dog parent do for their dog? She switched to Nature's Blend, a premium freeze-dried raw dog food made by Dr. Marty Goldstein, a veterinarian Forbes magazine called the Miracle Worker. It's the easiest way to support your dog's easy digestion, nourished skin, playful energy, and most importantly, their healthy, full life.
I'm so confident your dog will love it. Your order is backed with a 90-day guarantee.
Save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and get a free full-sized bag of Tilly's Treasures dog treats. They're best-selling beef liver dog treats while supplies last. Go to drmartypets.com/healthy or text healthy to 511-511. Go to drmartypets.com/healthy or shop in over 2,000 stores nationwide. Use the store locator to find the store closest to you. All pets are unique. Your pet's results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply. Studies available upon request.
Coming up in 2 minutes, a woman arrested in a murder case is taking a plea deal, and who Indy Metro Police are looking for. All that and more coming up after Fox News Radio from the Peterman Brothers Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. Your time is 5 o'clock.
The White House draws a line on Lisa Brady. Fox News. National Security Council spokesman John Kirby says President Biden does not support a reoccupation of Gaza by Israeli forces.
We do think that there needs to be a healthy set of conversations about what post-conflict Gaza looks like and what governance looks like. What we absolutely agree with our Israeli counterparts on is what it can't look like, and it can't look like it looked on October 6th.
October 7th is when Hamas launched its terror attack on Israel from Gaza. Israel says its ground forces are now battling Hamas fighters deep inside Gaza City. Facing a censure vote in the House, Michigan Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib says speaking up to save lives should not be controversial.
The cries of the Palestinian and Israeli children sound no different to me. Why? What I don't understand is why the cries of Palestinians sound different to you all.
But some fellow Democrats are concerned about her use of the phrase from the river to the sea.
I think it was at best massively insensitive. I mean, she in her own head may believe that that is an aspirational slogan. That's not the way certainly Israelis or Jewish people or most people hear it.
However, Connecticut Democratic Congressman Jim Himes also has free speech concerns about the censure vote. It's election day in many states with some local races getting national attention. Education and abortion, two of the key issues in Virginia, where Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin is hoping the GOP keeps control of the state House and flips the state Senate.
And we're the party that's really trying to forge a better day in Virginia. And what the other side stands for, honestly, is simply chaos.
Democrats campaigning against Youngkin's agenda, including a 15-week ban on abortion. In Ohio, abortion is on the ballot. Voters have a ballot question on a constitutional amendment for abortion rights. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
They took a deal. Mostly sunny, 65 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. No rain to worry about on your radar. You've got a low of 50 expected tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox for the Michaelis Corporation. Here's what's trending at 5:02. You may remember the story of a 5-year-old boy found dead inside of a suitcase in southern Indiana. Donnie Burgess reports on a plea deal in that case.
Detectives say Cairo Jordan was killed by his mother, Dawan Anderson, because she was convinced the boy had a demon inside. Dawn Coleman is accused of helping Anderson stuff Jordan into a Las Vegas suitcase, driving from Atlanta to Louisville and eventually into Washington County, dumping the suitcase, which was eventually found by a mushroom hunter in April of last year. Coleman has pled guilty and will have to testify against DeJuan Anderson whenever she's eventually caught and arrested. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
IMPD officers are asking for your help in finding someone who was last seen February 15th. 27-year-old Christopher Brown is 5'11", 140 pounds with black hair and brown eyes. He was last seen being dropped off for an appointment at Community Hospital East off Ritter Avenue. Anyone with information on where Brown is should give IMPD a call. An Indianapolis man faces several felony charges after leading state police on a chase through multiple counties.
He took off, fled at high speeds, and led Trooper Kern on a pursuit through not only Miami County, but Fulton and Marshall County roadways as well, reaching speeds up to approximately 115 miles an hour, passing vehicles on the right shoulder.
Sergeant Stephen Glass says police arrested 19-year-olds Marion McGrew of Indianapolis and Pierre Robinson of Mishawaka. Some voters got creative this morning when they went to the Benjamin Harrison presidential site.
This morning, we actually had an exercise group that came out here specifically, and then all the members voted after they exercised. So exercising their right to vote.
The president of the site, Charles Hyde, says with them being the place that celebrates a Hoosier president, they take voting and democracy seriously. Traffic and weather in 60 seconds. Your time is 5:04.
Basements get a bad rap. Probably because so many of them are wet, leaky, and musty. Thanks to screenwriters, crawl spaces aren't very popular either. Mishaps is putting an end to the horror show. Their time-tested waterproofing systems eliminate and prevent water issues. Damp and moldy becomes clean and healthy. And their French drains, vapor barriers, and encapsulation techniques turn crawl spaces into a Disney set. Yeah, okay, that probably went a bit far. But with over 35 years' experience, they have a lot of homeowners enjoying their basements again. Think Mishaps. And think how nice it would be to get rid of foundation cracks, basement leaks, damp smells, and all the nightmares that come with them. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Mishaps happens to help you through it. Call 844-FIX-INDY. Make it Mishaps.
The traffic on the 5s at 5:05. Here's Matt Bear.
All right, Harrison, westbound 70. There's a crash before the north split, blocking 3 left lanes, leaving 2 right lanes open. This is a crash with a box truck. It's getting loaded up, hauled off right now. Also a Mixmaster and several cars involved. Traffic is stopped past 465. I'm using Washington Street instead. Watch those side streets because the traffic is going somewhere, like on the east side here, southbound 465 stop-and-go traffic. Now Penn Pike down to I-74. And a little bit beyond. This is delaying southbound 65. That's jammed up before MLK down to Meridian Penn, then rubbernecking as you make your way through the north split onto eastbound 70 out to Rural Street, Keystone Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Grand Appliance. Shop the Black Friday sale now at Grand Appliance for the lowest prices of the year all November long. Visit grandappliance.com for the lowest appliance prices. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Mostly cloudy tonight with a few showers possible overnight. Lows in the mid-50s. Wednesday, highs in the mid-70s and mostly cloudy skies. Scattered rain late with breezy winds. Gusts up to 20 to 30 miles per hour expected. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on The Level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
If given the opportunity, I do look forward to continuing to work. I believe in this city. I believe in its potential.
Hogsett versus Sharif. Ladies and gentlemen, less than an hour to go. It is Election Day in Marion County. Not too big a deal anywhere else in the state, but Marion County, obviously all eyes on the mayoral race. Again, Hogsett versus Sharif. Who you got, Hammer?
None of the above, Nige. The only thing that I know to be for a fact is win or lose tonight, some booze will be drank in the Hogsett office.
We don't know that for sure.
I'm pretty confident. So I voted earlier today, and again, not a lot on my ballot. There was one council race, which we'll talk about here in just a moment, but it was the mayor's race, and I've made it known from the very beginning. I was all in on Jefferson Shreve. When he announced, he was going to run, I thought, all right, either Shreve or Abdul. Whoever comes out of this primary, I'm going to feel really good about supporting.
Yeah, of course.
And then Shreve beats Abdul in the primary, and I think, all right, I am with Jefferson Shreve because Joe Hogsett is a total zero. But then the first opportunity he gets after the primary, he throws law-abiding gun owners under the bus, basically blames us for the problems and the crime in Central Indy.
Mirroring Joe Hogsett's gun policy that he wants to enact, that he has no power to.
Right. The same Joe Hogsett that so many of our listeners can't stand with the passion of a million fires, this guy, with the advice of his counsel, the washed-up guy and the fat man, said, hot damn, that's a good idea. Let's do that.
Sounds like a bad 80s comedy. Washed-up guy and the fat man. Tonight at 8 on CBS.
It's the reboot of Jake and the Fat Man.
So if Sharif wins tonight, are you going to apologize to Jake and the Fat Man?
No, I'm not, because it was a horrible campaign. This shouldn't even be close. Like, if Jefferson Shreve stays true to conservative values and also reaches across the aisle, finds another way to appeal to some of the Hogsett supporters, he wins this thing in a blowout. And it's not even close, because that's how bad Joe Hogsett is. There are other ways of picking up Democrat votes in Marion County as opposed to pandering to the gun crowd, which, oh, by the way, you can't do anything about. Don't tell me that you're going to be some wheel and dealer at the Indiana State House with the legislators. That's not going to fly. Jefferson Shreve spent so much money talking about things he can't do, changing gun laws and talking about abortion.
Yeah, that was really bizarre strategy.
I mean, look at all the material he has to work with here, Nige.
Yeah, and we didn't learn about the gun policy until after he won the primary either.
Right.
That's kind of funny.
Total gutless move there. And again, our pal Phil Sanchez, he was the first one at these televised debates to look at Joe Hogsett in the face and ask where he was. And I think Shreve kind of just let him off the hook with that. Here, take a listen to this. This was that first debate on Wish TV.
Mr. Hogsett, we'll go to you on this one again. Let's ask this. Do you agree with the report findings that there was a lack of planning, coordination, and communication? And where were you on the night of the riots?
Well, first of all, the question about the report, I embraced it because I put the committee together. Deborah Daniels and former Justice Myra Selby and Sean Huddleston, the president of Martin University, did a very thorough job. My office fully participated. And in answer to your second question, Phil, I was working from my home. I was in constant contact with my representatives, with IMPD.
Okay, you can stop it right there.
And Debbie Daniels, by the way, on that panel, that leaked email that got out was like, no, that's not what we found out about your whereabouts on Friday.
Right.
Like everything you said there was a lie, basically.
And they had another debate a couple nights later, one that was on Fox 59 and CBS 4, after that report had came out that you just mentioned. Yep. And Shreve didn't bring that up either. This was Jefferson Shreve's response to that weak sauce answer Joe Hogsett gave.
My response would have been quite different. I'd have been on the scene. I would have led. I would have been visible. I would have been communicative with the leadership of the IMPD. I would be right downtown where the riots were occurring and the property destruction was where we let our officers stand aside by their orders. We ordered them not to do that which they are trained to do. And that was scarring. It's had long-term consequences to the morale of the IMPD. It is certainly a factor in the losses that we've had of officers. And do I just buy into that notion that I'm going to work from home in an incident like that? Mayor Shreve would be on the scene right downtown in the Mile Square.
That's okay. But go after Joe Hogsett. Go for the jugular here. This was a televised debate. Look him in the face and go, were you in rehab in Richmond, Indiana during the riots? At least during night number one. And during debate number 2, like you said, Nige, after Daniels came out and said,
Debbie Daniels.
whoa, that's not really necessarily true. That's something Jefferson Shreve has to bring up.
Didn't bring it up. Didn't even mention it.
So if he's scared to go toe-to-toe against this clown that is Joe Hogsett, man, what kind of faith do we have in this kind of guy to lead the city?
Hey, before we catch a break here, because we want to get Ethan Hatcher in here, you texted me a story this morning about your incident at where you went to go vote at the polling place, and I'm still laughing. I honestly, I'm still thinking to myself, I'm still giggling about it.
We talked about this a little bit earlier, and the photo was posted of the clown that was giving me crap. I posted the photo on the Hammer and Nigel Facebook and Twitter. But I go to vote this morning.
I love the fast food grease stain on his shirt.
Right. Look at this guy. So my son and I go to vote this morning before he goes to his classes at UIndy. And we're walking up to our facility, and there's this guy that's a staff member or some sort of surrogate for the Jared Evans campaign. He's running for City County Council, Democrat Jared Evans.
I believe we talked to his opponent last week. Right?
We did, yeah, Lisa Schmitz. And I've got the Hammer and Nigel show hat on, and I'm walking up, and this big fat bastard looks at me and goes, "Hey, you Hammer and Nigel?" It's like, yeah. "Do you support Micah Beckwith?"
What?
Because for some reason, Jared Evans' campaign has been about ripping Micah Beckwith, who doesn't live in Marion County and is not running for anything in Marion County. And I said, yeah, are you going to vote for Schmitz? And first of all, it's none of your business. But I knew what he wanted to do, so I just said, yeah, I think I am. You know, she's friends with Micah Beckwith. He wants to ban books. He's an extremist.
Okay.
So at this point, we're having a back and forth. I'm like, no books were banned. They were moved from a children's section because they were sexually explicit, but no books were banned. So already I've caught you in a lie. Now, if you'll excuse me, we're going to go vote. This conversation's over. So Chris and I are walking into the place to vote. This dude yells at me, "Your show effing sucks."
Like with the real F-bomb in front of...
With the real F-bomb in there.
In front of your son and everybody that's standing out there?
Yeah, he's laughing. He's having a good time. So I turn around and I say, "F you." And at this point, my 19-year-old son's like, "Let's just go vote right now." But yeah, that's the kind of crap that's happening at polling places.
You're getting harassed by Jared Evans surrogates.
He said, "I hope your son's proud of your mouth." He was the one that used the F-bomb first to me.
Right.
And take a look at this loser. You can tell this guy is like the prototypical washed-up Ben Davis football player that probably spends all of his weekend hours in a bar talking about the glory days with his buddy. Like every Bruce Springsteen song is about this loser. You got to see the photo for yourself. Facebook, Twitter, at Hammer and Nigel. All right, that's my story. How did you guys do today? Tweet at us at Hammer and Nigel. Matt Baer, what's going on?
Hammer, the crash inbound 70 is still going on. It's westbound 70 on the east side before the north split. Crash blocking 3 left lanes, 2 right lanes are open. Traffic is stopped back to I-465. This is also stopped traffic on east side's southbound 465 from Penn Pike down to South Shadeland Avenue. The whole thing is a mess. If you're using Washington Street to get into downtown, please be careful. It's filling up as well. Inbound 65 because of all this stopped from MLK to Meridian Penn. Now we have a crash up in the Boone. It is northbound 65 before Lebanon exit 138. That's after 267. 2 left lanes are blocked. Traffic stop for 2.5 miles back to State Road 267. Traffic sponsored by Isaacs and Isaacs. Dogfight injury? Call Isaacs and Isaacs, the law firm Indiana's trusted for over 20 years. They'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve. Click and get help quick at WeWin.com. That's WeWin.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
67 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
Well, if you're a homeowner, you know there's lots to focus on, lots of responsibilities of owning your own home. Like I had to have my driveway replaced over the summer because it was falling apart. What I didn't have to worry about was my American Standard air conditioning unit. I'm an American Standard customer, and if you need American Standard service, Hammer will tell you who you need to check out.
How about Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling in Franklin? If you're in Johnson and the surrounding counties, Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling is your trusted American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer. Call Marshall today for an honest and fair quote in Johnson County and the surrounding counties, and make sure that furnace is safe and ready to roll for the cold weather coming this winter. Visit callthemarshallnow.com. Callthemarshallnow.com or call 738-5940. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you. American Standard Heating and Air, built to a higher standard.
Jesse Kelly here. Do you feel protected? My personal protection plan is owning gold. The Oxford Gold Group helps you buy gold to have on hand or convert it into your 401k. If things get weird, I have gold on hand. I like that. You can buy coins or convert part of your 401k with the Oxford Gold Group. It's easy and safe. 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD. 833-995-GOLD.
Right now, you can get a 13% bonus when you invest your money. That's right. When you invest $100,000, you get a $13,000 bonus right out of the gate. Hey, it's Hammer and Nigel. Not only will you get a 13% bonus, you could also get a competitive return, an average of 7% a year for the past 10 years. And don't forget about the 13% bonus.
And look, you'll sleep well knowing your money is backed by one of the largest insurance companies in the world. Learn more from Bill Demery, your retirement guy, right here in Indy. He's my retirement guy. Let him be your retirement guy. Just call 317-648-5120. That's 648-5120. This 13% bonus won't last long. 648-5120. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you. Past performance is no guarantee of future returns.
This Christmas, 5,000 children in central Indiana are depending on Angel Tree to put gifts under their Christmas tree. We need your help to make this happen, so we're making it easy to participate right from home. Angels can be sponsored online by visiting the Salvation Army Central Indiana website. Choose your angel, buy their gifts, and return them to the Salvation Army by December 2nd. Learn more at salvationarmyindiana.org/angeltree.
Guys, if you've noticed a lack of energy, motivation, and drive, it could be low T. Be sure to schedule your health assessment at Low T Center. They offer the convenience of physician-monitored, self-inject, at-home testosterone treatments with an average payment of just $150 a month cash pay, including labs and medication.
If you don't live near a Low T Center or you just need the convenience of at-home treatment, Low T Center makes it easy, shipping treatments directly to you. LowTCenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Hey, you're up next.
My throat hurts so bad. There's no way I can sing tonight.
Here, try these.
Vicks VapoCool Drops.
Yeah, Vicks VapoCool Drops has maximum strength menthol with a rush of Vicks vapors.
Ooh, I can already feel it.
I told you. So, you ready?
I'm ready.
Vaporize sore throat pain fast with Vicks VapoCool Drops.
Hi, this is Beth Rovazini with B&W Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Nominate a veteran to win a free water heater, and you may win one too. Just go to veteransdaygiveaway.com.
This hour powered by B&W Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, your American Standard air dealer.
Nigel Show. My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a special live in-studio guests.
The host of Saturday Night on the Circle, our very own Ethan Hatcher. Ethan, let me tell you something. I was driving home from Columbus, Ohio on Saturday after my son's bowling event out there. And I'm still in the state of Ohio, but I can pick up WIBC. That's how strong of a signal that we have here. And I was listening to your program, and I'm telling you, and I'm not just saying this because you're here, your show is really good. Like, I listen to like the talk radio stations of whenever I travel, and a lot of these guys are awful. Like, your show was so good and entertaining.
Good,
it was an amazing show.
I appreciate that, man. What the listeners don't know is I put hours into the before the show prep, especially putting together the sound bites, you know, because you got to go record the stuff which takes the time. You got to sit through commercials, then you got to edit in the little reaction sound. All that adds up. It takes hours to do the show, but it's well worth it when a good product comes out. And I'm glad you liked it, man.
And I think it's just a little reminder of like all of us here, like how powerful WIBC really is. I'm listening to your show from another state,
That's
basically.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we got a great signal here.
So it is election day here, not only in the city of Indianapolis, but throughout the state, throughout the country. Let's talk about this Indianapolis mayor's
great
race.
Disappointment, you mean? This utter, just lackluster crap
hold on.
show.
I'm not the only one that feels like this is a horrible mayor's race, because based on social media feedback, people are blaming me for anything that may happen tonight.
I saw somebody tweet that we have blood on our hands for the way we've treated Shreve. Like, really?
The nearly billionaire guy, blood on their hands?
So they agree with Shreve. We are the problem. Law-abiding citizens.
Were you? Did you pull a Jason Hammer and leave it blank, or what?
Yep, that's what I did. I voted for my city councilor. I voted for Libby Glass there in District 13 over in Irvington. I think we're going to get the socialist, and I think we're going to get another Democrat mayor. Like, there is less enthusiasm on the ground, just speaking from a totally anecdotal perspective, than there was on primary day. I strolled in, and there was not a soul in my precinct. It was a ghost town, and there were at least a handful of people on primary day, so there's less participation. Again, totally anecdotal, because this is just, where I voted at the fire station around the corner where I live.
Because I think the early voting numbers are actually up just a little bit.
I early voted. I was in there Saturday, but there wasn't many people around.
So the people who were invested for Shreve came out and showed up early, and then there's no enthusiasm on election day. I don't think that's what you want to see.
Who were you? What did you say? You mentioned the socialist.
Yeah.
Who are you talking about?
It's Jesse Brown over there in Irvington, who put on his campaign page, he's a proud Democratic socialist.
He's a lunatic.
Yeah, no, he's a nutcase. He believes that more small businesses in Irvington should have unions.
He's also the anti-football guy, if I'm not mistaken. Thinks football is, a horrible sport, a blood
you
sport.
Said blood sport. That's who that guy is. Okay,
so
now
we
I know
agree
who
on
you're talking
something.
About.
Football's lame.
So,
all right, whatever. Here we go.
And now I can just put my ear up to the radio and hear people turning the channel. Ethan, thank you. I say all those nice things, and you say that, and people turn the channel. Thank you. But you live. Hold on. You live in Irvington.
Yep.
So why do the people in Irvington want this basket case as their representative?
You got me. It's got a college town vibe minus the college. It's a university town full of Marxist-loving socialists who identify strongly with the left.
Why do you live there?
It's where it's affordable to live.
Okay.
That's where I got a house, man. I want to get out of the city, especially after I think what will be an election night debacle tonight. I don't see Indianapolis getting fixed anytime soon, and I'm ready to leave. I think there's something to be said for the phenomenon of voters who are invested in fixing their communities leaving in droves, and then it just leaves the Hogsett supporters.
So
people who are fine with this and want to see more of it.
But the councilman you voted for, Libby Glass. Libby Glass.
Elizabeth Glass, libertarian. No, not a snowball's chance in Ecuador. But
man.
I cast my vote in her support.
Well, the Republicans said pretty much as much. They didn't run a candidate because this used to be, correct me if I'm wrong, the district where it was Zach Adamson.
Speaking as a resident, right, and they got rid of Zach Adamson for his anti-homeless stances.
Zach Adamson wasn't progressive enough
correct.
For Irvington.
And so here comes just right.
Yeah, I remember that guy.
So now we need pro-homeless stances, evidently. If they're upset about Zach Adamson's anti-homeless stance, I don't want to see what Jesse Brown's pro-homeless stance is going to look like. This is going to be a nightmare, guys.
And you look at Jesse Brown's social media, like people are pointing out that, he's got anti-Israel leanings, may or may not have been a big supporter to Rashida Tlaib. Like anything that you as a conservative or Republican likes, it's almost like he's trolling you intentionally to take the opposite side.
Well, I want to steer the discussion back to the Hogsett-Shreve election because I want to talk about what a disappointment this will likely be. Now, Shreve may pull it out in the end, pull out a victory, but I don't think it's likely, and this should have been an easy victory. Hogsett referred to this as a competitive election, and that's with the lackluster campaign that Shreve has been running. So if you had some energy, if you had a vision, if you had a message and a plan and you were able to communicate that concisely and effectively throughout the campaign, this should have been a slam dunk for Republicans. But because of the lackluster campaign that Shreve ran, he
could still win. Let's not get it twisted. I mean, there's a chance Jefferson Shreve could win this thing.
Possible. I just don't think it's likely.
It seems like he really got spooked by some of those attack ads from Joe Hogsett. Jefferson Sharif is pro 2A. Jefferson Sharif voted for Donald Trump.
Well, that's the problem. He was reacting to the Joe Hogsett messaging instead of leading the conversation.
Yeah,
and that goes to his lack of leadership. I mean, during the debates, one moment where I was screaming at the television was when they, the timer ran out, ding, and Jefferson Sharif literally stopped mid-thought, mid-sentence, and waited for the moderators to give him permission to finish his thought. Like, this is not a leader. That's embarrassing. I mean, obviously, don't grandstand, but even the moderators were shocked. They're like, Jefferson, you can finish your thought. You can get to the end of the sentence,
you have 45 more seconds. He was like a fighter in the ring that's waiting to be saved by the bell.
He's like Joe Biden looked at his watch. Well, anyway.
Time to go.
So Rob Kendall pointed out that, and I think this is a great way to look at this, Joe Hogsett is the Jimmy Carter of mayor candidates right now. And there's a chance that he's going to win this thing again tonight. No. Like, I really do think it's going to be close. But the thing that frustrates me more than anything else, and I've told Nigel this a lot, and I've told you this, Ethan, it was a winnable race, but Jefferson Sharif might be a nice dude. Like, if I sat down and just watched a ball game or with him and had a beer, we might have a fun conversation.
Oh, he brought Rob Kendall Wendy's, Hammer.
Right. But he just looked scared to death of Joe Hogsett on that debate stage. He had all the leverage. He refused to use it against him. He knows where Hogsett was during the riots, didn't want to play that card, and he made the mistake of listening to the washed-up guy and the fat man.
Now, how likely do you think it is for Shreve to pull off a victory? This is a non-scientific poll, but I saw on your Twitter feed where you were asking listeners who they plan to vote for, whether they were voting for Shreve or just leaving it blank. 35% or there in the neighborhood said that they were just going to leave it blank, and I would suspect that a decent chunk of our audience would be the Republican base that turns out the vote. And when you're disenfranchising 35% of those voters in a tight election, you got to sway a huge number of Democrats over to your side. And I don't think that they're going to switch for Shreve when Shreve is just promoting Hogsett's messaging.
Ethan, what's coming up on your show Saturday night?
We're going to be talking about the fallout from the election, whatever it may be, and playing the finest highlights from stupidity in politics for your entertainment.
Ethan Hatcher, Saturday night on The Circle. It's a great show. Check it out. Ethan, thank you.
Thank you.
Big Nige, we've got Hoosier basketball coming up. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
On the CareSource Radio Network from Learfield.